was a lonely silhouette.
Welcome, guys, to the first SigmaTimes Podcast. Today we'll be interviewing quite the special guy. I've had this in the works for months. You want to tell us more about this guy, Tommy?
Yeah, today we got an interesting acquaintance of ours, Ryan and Carpelius. We're going to be exploring his music tastes, his interesting love life, and his interesting life in general. And you know what? Without further ado, just give it up for Ryan.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure.
Of course.
Welcome in, Ryan. Welcome in. You know,
How do you feel to be the first guest of SigmaTimes Podcast?
Honored. I feel honored to be here.
It's great. Lovely having you. You know, you're a man of excellent talents, a lot of abilities.
Yes.
One of those abilities I've heard is flight checking. You wanna elaborate on that?
It's a good one.
Yeah, it was a very interesting time on our cruise. Didn't have any Wi-Fi. Slipped the mind with Southwest having to check in a day before. Just slipped the mind.
And just set the stage for the people here. It was a nice week cruise, long thing. Ryan head of planning here, Mr. Planning. Elaborate. Just set the scene of where we're at here.
While we were on the cruise, when I did it.
Yeah. Just to walk us through the mind here, and if you want to, for the people at home listening, you want to tell us where we're boarding at?
So we were on the Disney cruise, waiting in line to take a picture with Minnie Mouse.
Yes.
We did get a great
Love her.
picture.
Such a
Minnie
lovely
Mouse.
lady.
Yes.
She's really. You hear the stories about her, and you're like, she can't be as bad as that. And you meet her, and she's like, a lovely person, great character.
Vibe is fantastic.
Yes,
She is great. I
Couldn't
got
have
a
been
solo
better.
picture with her. Exactly.
It's a pretty cute
But-
picture, I will say.
It was, but besides the point, while we were waiting in line, Tessa reminded me that did you check us in for the tickets? Absolutely slipped my mind, and we were supposed to
not?
check this in at 1 p.m. on the Thursday. This was at 8 p.m. on that Thursday, so we were about 7 hours late. Checked us in, second to last people in C group.
Yeah, and then for those of you, those of you with the money at home, we were flying Southwest, so we didn't have the money.
Southwest.
Yes, so
No assigned seating. No assigned seating.
first come, first serve. So it's obviously a tough flight home with that. Take a
For
seat,
sure.
sit in it. That's about where you're going.
Yeah.
But you know what? Enough of that, Ryan. Let's just let's talk about your day so far. How's it been?
How was your day, Ryan?
How's the family? How's the kids? How's it going?
Kids are doing great. Thanks, Tommy. How are yours going?
Lovely. I mean, 2 young ones coming on the way. One more. It's great to have you.
And Gavin, how's your kids going?
So.
Yeah,
So
been there, done that.
They went pretty well. Had to open up at NCG Cinemas. Shirt that I'm wearing with.
And just to let the audience know, we all work at a movie theater here.
Yes.
We all do. We all work at a movie theater. With 2 people. Both of them will be future guests on the podcast.
Yeah.
We got an exciting list, guys. Yeah, we don't want to spoil anything away, but
A lot of great episodes coming your way. We'll just say that.
plenty of content, hours to watch. If you're watching this one, you're getting ahead of the curve. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
It was a great opening shift. We had a birthday party this morning. It went spectacular. They saw Dogman. Good
Great
movie,
film.
I hear.
Great film, good
movie I
book.
hear.
That's all.
Bringing
That's all
a
I'm
lot
hearing.
of people in.
It has, but yeah. Besides that, had a Jimmy John's sandwich that I got for lunch. It was pretty tasty, BLT. And then that was pretty much my day. Got home, took a nap, and had dinner, and then now I'm here.
Yeah. And you know what? Speaking about working at NCG, it's an interesting workplace. I mean, a lot going on, plenty of stories. I mean, you just want to go over some of those tales. I've heard there's been some treacherous work going on there. A lot of work lore, as you'll put it. Just if you want to go over what's an experience like there working, from maybe team lead to manager.
As the longest serving member of our theater so far, it's gonna be sad. I will be leaving soon. It is very sad. But as the longest one there, I went through many shift changes of different people working there. Went about through 3 to 4 separate groups of people working there, and each one has been a character of their own.
Some would say you're just you're an NCG veteran at this point. I mean, you haven't hit the 5-year tenure, but you're getting up there in years.
No.
You're
Yeah, I will not be hitting the 5-year tenure though.
But one could say you're a jack of all trades at the job. When it comes to a guy who needs some jalapenos done, you're there. Guy
Hmm.
cooking food, you're there. A guy to go fix a theater, you're there. You know, just
Hmm.
Yeah.
just a lot of that there. What about some like interesting stories that's going on there? Any interesting
Yeah.
if you had to put in a top 5 like things that's happened while
Oh,
you're there? What are you thinking?
top 5 stories. Oh, that is interesting. Um,
There's a lot to choose,
there
really.
really is a lot to choose. Um, hmm. I think the most recent one that I'm gonna mention is about our lovely previous assistant manager with and his interesting relationship with a couple of our coworkers.
Well,
Hmm,
Not sure
sounds
how
lovely.
much I not sure how much I should go into that if that's
yeah,
appropriate.
maybe doxing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other stories?
Any like how about goofy stories? What about
goofy
I'm
stories?
just thinking of something I know. It's one of my favorite songs. It's a classic in the films. Eye of the Tiger. Like that, when I think of
Ooh,
good stories at this theater,
that's a
that
good
comes to
story.
mind. That's number one in my books. It might be up there. I wasn't even there for it, and
All right, you want,
Yeah.
want want me to explain since it
uh,
incorporated me
since
and Gavin?
we've got two of the first person witnesses to this story, and
I
let's
had a
just
big
say,
part of
people,
that.
it's the great.
Yeah.
It might be up there as one of the best moments I've ever heard of at this theater.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll set the scene. We're all sitting at our cash register. We have Eye of the Tiger playing up on the TV in the main lobby. Me and a fellow coworker were just mouthing to the song, just like singing along with the song. And then Gavin was taking a customer, a nice gentleman, just wanted nachos, paid with $100 bill,
As you do.
as uh, as you do.
Mhm.
And then protocol, you just got to check the $100 bill, make sure it's real and not
Yeah,
fake.
the quick up in the air check. I mean, you
Look up
see
in
it
the
you
Yeah.
see
air,
it at
check
every store. It's all the same
every store.
business.
Every store.
Yeah.
While Gavin was doing that, the nice gentleman was making a funny joke about me, saying that what was the exact words, Gavin? I'm
I
blanking.
believe stop singing, you're not the eye of the tiger.
And
Yes.
just for those at home, Eye of the Tiger was the song playing.
Yes, it was pretty comedic.
It,
Ryan's the butt of the joke, really, a lot of the time. So like,
Yeah,
it's just
that's
pretty
why
funny.
that's why
Everybody
I
was having a
am
good
the
laugh.
first guest on the podcast. So then any future jokes about me are understood.
hmm And some
Yeah.
would say you got the punching bag, and then sometimes you got the atom bomb. Ryan might be the bomb. You might be the soil the bomb
But
hits.
yeah, he takes a lot, but we love him at the end of the day. So
And the real thing is, he takes it all, but he gives it back double the size.
Of course,
yeah, for
every
sure.
time. So then at the end
But
of that story, the $100 bill ended up being fake.
whole process, yeah, a
hmm
lot of money lost there.
Yeah, it was. It sounds like he hit you with the. I mean, simply put, it just like the bait and switch a little bit. Like he's just
Yeah,
gnawing at you as he's giving you a fake dollar, fake 100 as it was. And I mean,
Yeah, to
definitely a professional in this field. I can
yes,
tell you that.
yeah,
he,
Yes.
it
you
was a
know,
wash $10 bill.
it didn't take him much time to scope out how he's gonna get away with this, and
Yeah.
he found his target right away. And I could respect a man that's that knowledgeable to find it.
Hmm.
Looking back to stories, there's a lot of things that could have kind of set off cues. Him and another gentleman came in, went right to a restroom, didn't even see a
Yeah,
movie.
and then
Buying a nacho with $100 bill. A lot of cues
a lot of
didn't pick up.
suspicious. I mean, after working in a movie theater, the most obvious way to know you're like sneaking in or doing something, you don't even like stop to the door or cashier person
Yeah,
and ask
just
them anything. You go
right,
straight to the
right past.
restroom, and especially if you go to the restroom and 5 minutes later, you don't see the person come back from it at all. I mean, it's either it's a number two
Mm,
Circle K code, or you're sneaking in. That's what we got
yeah,
going on.
it's
Hmm.
truly what happens. Good story though. That was definitely a moment.
It's a moment. Anything else that spikes the mind? I mean, you've been manager here for what? It's coming up on a year now.
About 2 years as a manager.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's been a manager for quite some time.
I would see you deal with the most stressful scenarios. I mean,
Hmm.
typically it's small town. You don't really get all those scenarios. Any you know, care to share any of those like encounters you've had? People gnawing at you, just trying to give you a hard time.
There's just the occasional like snicker back and forth of them complaining about like concession prices or like the ticket prices, like we can control that or anything like that. Along with kids running up and down seats and stairs while you're in a kids movie with 120 people in it. That's bound to happen. One of the funny ones that I had to do was I had to tell a bunch of teenage girls while they were watching the Taylor Swift movie in our Extreme theater to stop jumping up and down in the front of the theater so people can look at the screen.
And you know what? I'm surprised. I'm hearing more and more of this, of the rowdiness during a movies. Attention all moviegoers. If you see popcorn flying, a lot of that with all those singing movies coming out, Taylor Swift, Wicked. It's really just igniting the flame of just obnoxiousness in the theater. If you ask me about it, but
Yeah, definitely for sure.
I'd say you deal with most stressful scenarios pretty well. I mean, obviously there's the occasional outliers where it's just out of hand for anyone. I mean.
Yeah, it's like it just catches you off guard.
Off the pay grade.
Know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd agree. Grade. And you know what? It's, do a pretty decent job. He always wearing the merch, as we could see on the camera there with his,
always.
Lovely NCG reward shirt. It's great stuff there. And, as Gavin's, rearranging, looking at our set list here, we can move on to our next thing here. Working at NCG, you don't live right next to it. You gotta commute to it. You gotta travel.
Mm-hmm. 10-minute drive.
You made a recent purchase. We are curious about and want to know a little more. Yep. I'll let Gavin, expand on this for the viewers at home.
4th of July, we're having a good time. Great time.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan tells us he's going car shopping the next day. Little do we know, he's going to pull up to work in a 2024 model, all black Mazda. And I mean, you guys don't know Ryan too well, but let's just say that's kind of out of character for him.
And then for those at home, let me please grab something real quick for you.
Yeah.
What could he be grabbing?
I don't know. I'm interested.
It's so inspirational that I've made my fantasy team off of the all black Mazda 2024. Yeah. It's truly a lovely car, but we'd like.
Ironically, though, that fantasy team.
We can expand on it later. I mean, it's.
Needed a lot of oil changes.
It did. It needed a lot of oil changes. It came down. The car was broken. That's the ultimate case there.
How to total the car.
The car was totaled. Let's just say it got T-boned going into a golf course. It was done.
Yes.
But Ryan, we just want to know, like, you've been driving the car now. What would you say? Like a good? It's been coming up a couple months here. Not a year.
6 months.
6 months. Yeah, like half a year.
7 months. Yeah, 7 months.
What are you liking about the car so far? Is it are you seeing this purchase, you regret it a little bit now, or is it just like, what do you have to say about it?
It's kind of a 50-50 with the regretting of the purchase. On one hand, I am paying a lot of money to have the car with car payment and car insurance because for some reason, car insurance companies make men pay more money for car insurance than they do women.
I have heard this. I've heard men are more likely to fatal accidents, is it? Or
yes, it's more fatal accidents, but women are more tending to do minor accidents.
Yeah. And for those of you also confused about cars insurance, they don't go to the hospital. This is for if they get a dent. Don't they don't have organs. Just so those at home. No. I mean, it's a common confusion. Everyone under
Yeah.
It's you just got to explain it to everyone. But obviously, the price point's a little difficult. What do you have to say? What about some pros that are bringing around that are making you like I like this purchase?
The pros that I do like, it is first of all it is new, so there's nothing wrong with it. Unlike my last car where its tire pressure lights would not work.
And that's pretty relatable as my cars have a maintenance tire and some other light that just won't turn off. So I mean,
and doesn't your handbrake also not work either, or is it traction?
No, the handbrake will work. Traction control doesn't work. So it's it's fun driving on the highway with snow. Everyone loves it. I could go on my car. There's grass mats. The driver's side, door, whatever it is, it's completely off. There was a mouse in it at one point.
Yeah, what did you name it?
Guido. Yes, he's a lovely little mouse. I met him once. I haven't seen him for coming up on a year now. I still miss him. I hope he's there with me every day. It's just. Sometimes I toss a little prayer. If I make the red light on time, I toss a little prayer out to Guido just to let him know I'm looking out for him. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah, back to my car. Price point aside, it is a very nice car. It is new, so nothing's wrong with it. It has great gas mileage on a full tank of gas, which is only like 10 gallons. For my full tank of gas, I can go 330 miles on it on a full tank of gas for 10 gallons. That's pretty good.
And you know what? I do agree. It's definitely good for when you're going to be making a drive out to college here soon. You definitely need a good car, something to get back and forth. One thing I know... Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say that was the main deciding factor as to why I even got a new car was going to college.
Yeah, obviously making the drive out. Some people don't bring a car, some people do. It's personal choice there. I've known both people. I'm one
Yeah.
that brings a car. But I know one of the biggest complaints you had about the car. I mean, it came up recently with our cruise trip when we had to go to the airport. Was the space provided for it? What do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's a good size. I like it for like any of my belongings. If I bring them to college, it would be good. But unluckily, with our group of friends that we have, I'm always ended up being the designated driver.
Amen.
So I always have to drive
Amen.
everyone around everywhere. Usually, if it's just driving, no luggage or anything, it's fine. It's a little cramped in the back seat with having three people back there, but that's with any sedan
Yeah,
since it's not a multi-V.
that's true. I mean, realistically, being the designated driver can't be the bad thing. I mean, sometimes it's just a recognition of the skills that you
Mhm.
have as a driver. And speaking of skills, Ryan, you're a man of humbleness, humble moments. I mean, just clearly off it, a man of confidence, as I'll say. It just if you do you want to like elaborate on any of the humbleness you've had in your career here, NCG life?
Any humbleness.
Yeah, I mean, for one example, the driving, just a strong, solid driver gets you to and from,
Yep.
just
I
consistent.
mean, it is consistent. We do get to point A to point B with no flat tires, unlike one of our fellow coworkers hit a
Yeah.
curb and had to get new
Quick speed.
tires.
R.I.P.
Quick speed. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes being the greatest driver, it's just not a skill set people have. You know,
No.
Mm-mm.
Ryan, lucky
I
enough to
stay in
have
the
it.
lanes. I stay in the lanes. Don't almost hit us into the off of the road while we're driving home from the airport. But we made it. We made it.
And I can
We made it.
respect it. Yeah. It was a drive. It made it there and back. And for those of you who know, referencing the drive to the airport, it was bad weather, Chicago, not a great drive.
Yeah, winter,
No,
snowy
not
weather.
fun for anybody.
No,
No.
not fun for everyone unless you are listening to Colt 45 in the back seat, in which case you enjoy it a little bit.
Mhm.
You can get behind it.
But yeah, the size of the car would be perfect for me to drive to college, but having five people with five pieces of luggage and carry-ons, all that, car is just not big enough. I mean, that would be with any sedan.
Yeah, no, that is fair to say. Not a lot of trunk space in that, not a lot of storage. And I mean, anything like overall, what are your final opinions on it? If you had to summarize your thoughts about the Mazda, how it's going so far.
Final opinion, I'd say I like it compared to my old car. My old car was a 2011 Chevy Equinox. It was terrible. It was big. It had enough space for luggage and for people, but it really did not drive well. And I do like my new car better.
What about the touchscreen though?
Oh yeah, unfortunately with Mazda, they decide to not have a touchscreen. They do still have the screen for Apple CarPlay, but they have a little knob on the center console that you have to use to maneuver the touchscreen.
Yep.
But that's the reason why I do that is I feel like they do that is because the touchscreen is farther back on the top of the hood and not more in your face.
And
So
for those at home, I feel like the best thing about a Mazda is just being able to touch the driver's knob while they're going on the car. It's just a great little
mhm,
detail about it. But you know what? We've heard a lot about the Mazda. We've heard about the car. A lot of that. And clearly, you are a humble guy with it all. And you know what? The humbleness. I think it started off with your start off as the team lead here at NCG.
mhm.
You're very humble guy about it. Always, making the jalapenos for people. And for those of you who know, it's just a jar of it. You just cook it up, make it. You want to like elaborate like on your roles as a team lead, how it's changed now?
Well, yeah, I first started as a regular employee, got promoted to team lead, and then eventually got promoted to assistant manager. When I was team lead, when I was team lead, it was a very different time at NCG at that point. All the people that are working at NCG now did not work during that time. They only started working towards the end of my team lead lifespan. So for most of the time as a team lead, it was a whole different staff, whole different personality with managers and regular staff. It was a very different time back then
Yeah,
with everything.
The
obviously changed.
veteranship coming out of you.
Yeah.
What was that, Gavin?
The veteranship.
Yes, yes.
And you know what? I think with that, we've talked a lot about NCG, just yourself as a person. I think we start talking about the convos that people care about, current stuff going on. And I think what's coming to mind here, it's coming up upon Super Bowl. Pro Bowl just happened. I just want to hear thoughts about it. We could start off with Pro Bowl and then lead into Super Bowl if that's working.
All right.
I know Gavin had a hot take if he wants to start it off though, because he was really intrigued about the Pro Bowl, and he's the reason we have this segment on here.
So Thursday night, they have like all the little games and stuff. I was like, people are over-hating this. I mean, like, yeah, it's not great, but it's for fun. But then I watched the flag football today, and by gosh, it's garbage. It's garbage. It's terrible. Nobody wants to see it. I think they could find something more entertaining. Again, it could still be fun. I don't know. One of the ideas I had was maybe the best college team go against the worst football team. I think obviously the worst football team would pummel them, but at least it'd be something interesting to see.
You're speaking kind of like a relegation scenario that happens in Premier League soccer. For those relegation, the worst team of one league just goes down, and the best teams of the league below it will move up. I believe it's Premier League and Champions League, right? I feel like Ryan, Ryan played soccer a little bit. Yeah, I feel like
sounds very familiar. Some of my other friends from high school are more into soccer than I was.
Yeah.
But that sounds about right.
Yeah, except relegation, they do not play each other. But I like the idea. I agree with you. I think in all-star games, hockey, NFL, NBA, making them play each other might be the worst thing you could do. It's cool to see your stars on the court, pitch, ice, whatever it is. But realistically, you're risking injury, you're risking, just general like health and safety. And most of the players, if you're ever watching it, no one's trying. There's no effort being played up.
No.
I don't know the score.
The flag football game was terrible.
I don't know the score of the flag football game. I imagine it was high scoring and not insanely amounts of defense. Just because how are you going to take that really seriously? Even with a cash prize on the line, most of these players don't care about it. But the skill game, however, I agree with the skill games. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's, it's a way for you to showcase your ability. I think the way they're doing it could be done different. For example, the wide receiver competition. I don't know if either of you caught it. I like the idea of, showcasing the wide receiver's catching ability. Let's not make them put on 3 feet massive gloves. Yes.
Yeah.
Like what is this doing for everyone? The jump catch, I mean, I think it's cool. But what are you risking?
Did anybody catch that? It seemed overshot every single time. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, overshot. I believe a player like I forget who it was, but I think someone nearly pulled something from having to exert himself to stretch for a ball for a skill competition. I think stuff like that, unnecessary. But like the relay race stuff, like having long snappers showcase their snapping ability by hitting stuff, it's a cool way to recognize the position, the players. Kickers obviously get the credit when they make a kick. They get dissed when they miss one, but showcasing their accuracy and skill points, it's a great thing. But overall, like I think it could be done better. I think the way we're currently doing it is poor, just for better or worse. And then Ryan, I believe you're are you looking this up here?
Yeah, I got the final score here.
Yeah.
It was NFC 76, AFC 63.
And was that just overall with all the points combined?
That's just overall all points.
Yeah. It's just high. I mean, obviously this includes the skill games, I believe, right? Or is it just I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know the skill. I think it's like little events they do in between like quarters and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the punters had to hit it into a bin, and they actually tied on that one. Like it was, and the commentators didn't even know the rules. It was pretty obvious they were just going with the flow. They had no idea what was going on.
So I feel like that's what the Pro Bowl is all about. It's not supposed to have any structure. It's just supposed to be
like at a point. It's just not entertaining at a point. I think they could just do it a little differently.
And, I have another comment on the commentators. I caught glimpses of the relay race. I believe I saw it reposted. I saw it on Instagram, TikTok, all that. Just like the commentating on it was pretty brutal, if I had to say so. It's just like we're commentating about the difficulty of the long snapper contest of knocking down bowling pins as they've already beaten it and they're moving on to the kickers. It like the way they're shooting it. Yes, there's no like set list and you're going off the fly, but we're just, you're trying to squeeze words in, and I'm just trying to watch the players compete. We don't need the unnecessary commentating for this. Like, I see what's going on. They're doing a relay race, and all of that. It's just, it's kind of frustrating to see how they're doing it. It could be done, I think 10 times better in the aspect it's being done.
Yeah.
And this is me speaking. Others may disagree. I think I'd personally like to see just a weekend of the skill contest. Make the positions match up based off their division. Make them do that. Make wide receivers do wide receiver stuff, not mascot stuff. And just make it all the skills. Showcase their ability without having to make them play an unnecessary flag football game where no one's gonna try. And it's just you watch it and you're like, why am I even here watching this at that point?
Yeah. And what the effort thing.
And I believe, Ryan, can you hear Gavin right now?
No,
Are the best college team versus the worst NFL team? Well,
Do you want to just repeat what you said? You kind of cut in and out there for a sec. Believe we're having a little, yeah. I think
I'm working on it.
I think what he's trying to reference here is his take on the, if you're having a college team versus the best college team, one of the best top college teams. It doesn't have to be the championship winner. It doesn't have to be,
Wasn't that Ohio this year?
It was Ohio State. Yes, they won versus Notre Dame. I mean, it was a kind of, no one was surprised by this outcome. I feel like Notre Dame, they had a run. They did really well. I mean, they've got paid very well for it because as they're they're not in a division, they get a lot more money for making playoffs in general because they don't have to split it amongst the rest of the division. But I see Gavin's back. Do you want to go back on your take about the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I was just going to go on the effort. I think if you're the best college team versus the worst NFL team, which would be OSU versus the Giants this year.
Was it the Giants?
The Giants had the worst. Giants had the worst record season.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Ohio State would be trying a whole lot harder than the Giants, which I think would make it interesting, a little bit more even than people would think it would be. But yeah, I think it would be interesting to see.
It's
more than this flag football stuff.
Yeah, I just think it's in every sport. You're not gonna get the same level of competition when you're off season. You're not in a regular season schedule. Like you're not gonna see. Obviously, it's flag football for no contact. But then again, how are you gonna man on man guard a flag football for fun contest? Like it just doesn't. Obviously, they're athletes. They're gonna compete and they want to win. But at the end of the day, are we? We're not gonna be tackling. We're not going to be doing sometimes obviously fouls aren't part of the game, but at least the foul shows or a flag on thing. Like they're showing the players working hard and trying to, make an effort. They're even willing to cheat to make the play. But I would say for a final take, I think I would prefer seeing just skills. I like the idea of a relegation type of playing where you play a college team just to, up the competitiveness, but flag football is not doing it.
No, just an idea. I don't think that would ever happen.
No,
I don't know for sure if that would end well. But it'd be interesting.
I kind of agree. I think it'd be if it happens, it might be a one and done. Unless the college team, doesn't essentially just get brutally killed, which would probably happen no matter what, unless they are a team with insane chemistry. But it's what they're doing right now isn't accurate. I like the skills aspect just for the part of I think at the end of the day, it's more for the kids watching the game, the kids growing up, getting to see all their favorite players on a field, competing, playing these games to showcase their ability.
Yeah.
I mean, they made it to the Pro Bowl because of their ability. Why would you not let them showcase it in an accurate way? Do we need to see Justin Jefferson catch with mitts on? That's all I have to say. But that's the Pro Bowl. Thank God it's over. But we got a Super Bowl match coming up next week.
Worst
the one that nobody cares about.
Yes, for all of you fans on my TikTok, YouTube, you've seen me rank the Super Bowls. This ranked dead last for worst Super Bowl matchup possible. The Chiefs 3-peat versus Philadelphia. That's essentially what we got here. And I don't think anyone's happy to see this or watch this. Ryan, I would like to hear your thoughts on this game. I mean, as a Saquon Barkley owner in fantasy, I just want to hear what you're thinking. Are you leaning towards Eagles for the win, or are you kind of are you favoring the three-peat right now?
I am more favoring the Eagles just because I really do not want Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce to get a three-peat. But it's still going to be an awful game. I'm probably going to, if I do watch it, maybe like 5 minutes of it. I would rather watch paint dry than watch that football game.
Wow.
That's a tough take.
That's a statement.
That's a tough
Yeah.
statement when you got the Puppy Bowl on at the same game.
Yeah.
It's a
That is very true. I could watch paint dry and have the Puppy Bowl at the same time.
Yeah, and I
think
mean,
it'll definitely be a game. It'll be. It's not gonna be terrible, but nobody cares about either of these teams doing good except Saquon. I think we all just want to see him do well. But,
yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I think for this game coming up, no matter how unbearable Philadelphia fans are, I kind of want to see Eagles win just because Saquon Barkley has had quite the career, and being stuck on the Giants for your entire life. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I've seen the videos of their from the show they have going on. I've seen the videos of their essentially, coaching room, the managers, all that, just undervaluing the player. And I'm glad the Eagles took him up. I wish it could have been a different team, honestly, and he could have shined on it. But I'm glad the Eagles gave him the opportunity, and he's had quite a season. I had the opportunity to break records if they weren't saving him for playoffs. And I think he deserves, to at least have a Super Bowl with the Eagles. I mean, he's had more highlights in the just year of Eagles playing than I've seen of him as a Giants player. Just straight up, in my opinion, he's done great on the Giants. He's probably carried them for however long, but I think he deserves a Super Bowl. Give him the ring on the Eagles. Let him, MVP. Honestly, if they win it and they don't give Barkley the MVP and it goes to Hurts or something like that, if it's not him getting the MVP, Cooper DeJean deserves the MVP as the greatest cornerback to ever live as a biased Iowa fan. But yeah, Gavin, you want to share your thoughts on it? As we've heard from you.
I am interested to see Saquon versus Kansas City because Kansas City has a really good run defense. They do. But Saquon's a beast. So it'll be interesting to see. I have a couple parlays on it.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more towards the Chiefs players doing well. AJ Brown has had an interesting season. He has.
Yes, he's very some would say hot and cold, honestly.
Yes. I know he is getting double guarded a lot, which obviously, but so is Jamar Chase. And I mean, look at Jamar Chase. I think like 20 touchdowns this season, and they didn't even make playoffs. So
the Bengals, you could go on for an entire hour long of just how disappointing from McPherson missing just game-winning easy kicks. They weren't even game-winning, I believe, right? It was just your basic field goals that ended up, just kicks. The Bengals defense.
And their defense just really let that team down. I mean, I think we're all Chicago Bears fans here. Ryan might be more on the Green Bay, of course. It's Ryan. But I really wanted to see the Bengals do well. I had Jamar Chase on my fantasy and T. Higgins, actually. So I was really looking forward to that team.
Yeah, and it's just obviously it's a frustrating season for Joe Burrow just based off what he's had. Like, it's when you're putting up 30 points a game and you are losing because of defense, it's definitely not on. Like, you've got Joe Burrow, who is an elite QB, top 5, if you ask me. He Pro Bowl QB, obviously just great. Jamar Chase, great. T. Higgins is a good running back, wide receiver. But just when you have a line like that, you should just be in the playoff. They should have been, if not a wild card, I think just safely into the semis.
And then their running back went out, and Chase Brown came in and did almost better than him at times. So it was incredible to watch for sure.
Yeah, they just had.
I also had Chase Brown on my team. It was.
Yeah. And then it's just, but I think we're all in agreement that we kind of, despite it's really the fan base of Philadelphia that kind of just puts the Eagles down a peg that no one likes to see.
Sure.
It's just, no matter win or lose, the city will burn a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, I think this is the least deserving Chiefs Super Bowl I've seen so far. I could give it the other years they've had great teams. The other years, no matter how much I dislike the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they've had great years. They've deserved to be in the Super Bowl. They deserve to make it that far. But this year they just such close games from like the Denver blocked field goal. What was it, like the Raiders punt drop? Like I'm shocked that game was
And
as
then,
close as it
and then
was.
Isaiah Likely's toe being on the
Oh
white
yeah,
line.
yeah,
Yes.
his toe
I
being
don't
on
know
the
how
line.
precisely they're drawing those lines, but I mean, it's gonna.
It's just
They should
close.
have had
And
they should have an 0-4 record to start off the season.
yeah,
It
it's
is.
and those are just like examples. I've seen clips and clips of how close these games have been down to like one call
Yeah.
to down to the last play. There's just, I mean, I think the only reason they're in it is because of their defense. I just haven't seen great
Their
offense.
defense is really good.
Yes.
I will say
And
that.
as you elaborated, the run defense is going to be interesting here against Barkley.
Sure.
And you know what? Just how to go off of that too. The Eagles are like basically a two-headed run defense. As I mean, kind of like the Ravens. You don't know who's running the ball. It could be Barkley. It could be Hurts on a scramble. Which I kind of wanted to go off when you were talking about AJ Brown being what was it, 72 yards? Or
Yes, for his line
yeah.
is 72 yards, I believe.
Which I think is crazy high considering looking at Jalen Hurts, like passing yards over under consistently, it's always in like 190, that range, just purely off of how elite their run or their running offense is, in my opinion.
They have a good tight end, Goddard, I believe his name is.
Yes, Goater.
It'll be a game for sure.
Do I want to watch it? No, but will I watch it? Yes. Like I think
I will be
Do
watching.
you have any bets on it?
I haven't put anything on it yet. I'm interested to see what it's gonna be like during this week, just seeing what apps are offering. But
I have 3 parlays down. I'm shooting for I think like 5. So
yes. And you know what? Super Bowl, it's always a fun time from food to the party, and I just want to hear you guys' plans for it. What are you guys looking like for the Super Bowl? What's your guys' Sunday gonna look like?
I'm actually at a no plan at the moment. I see where the wind takes me.
I like it. I'm kind of a where's the wind go, who let the cat in kind of guy, so I can respect it. I know myself personally, my our frat's gonna be having a watch party, so I'm gonna be interested to see how everyone's reacting to that. I think everyone's in the same opinion as me there, as no one cares as long as the game is high scoring and is good. Ryan, what's the plan looking like for you?
Most likely working at the theater in the morning and then driving to my grandma's house.
It sounds like
Have
you're
a
right.
watch
Gonna
party
have
there.
a nice food spread, I'm assuming.
Oh, absolutely a nice food spread.
And you know what? Speaking of the parlays and everything for the balls, any of you guys got any good squares set up for the game? I know that's a big thing on my family. Yep.
We always have squares.
Some
set up.
nice Super Bowl
Yeah.
squares.
We almost got into an argument last year with my family because I won 3 out of the 4 quarters.
And you know what? I would have also
almost
gotten
won
to that
the 4th.
argument.
Almost won the 4th.
Yes.
Too.
Losing to Ryan in football is definitely not something you want.
And as an expert on that, I could agree.
You want to show?
The record, I don't have the record.
Not the record, the punishment.
No, not currently.
No.
I would like to that stay under the hat for right now. Give it a month to grow out. Essentially, I Joe Burrowed my hair, but it's ginger. That's kind of essentially what to put it. Best way. I was a big Fighting Irish
the
fan.
CMC round 1.
Yes.
That's where his team won.
If we just want to go off my team's draft ranking here, number 1 CMC. I don't think he played until week 10 maybe, and if that he did nothing. And then I drafted number 2 Garrett Wilson. Not a bad pick. He was very inconsistent this season. I mean, was he good for my second pick? No. And then the third pick. This I think is like the nail in the coffin. Was Travis Etienne. Got me probably at most maybe 12 points. And then just got sat for Tank Bigsby after he got injured. You know what? But my greatest pickup was Jaden Daniels off the waiver wire. I'm glad I got that guy early. I didn't utilize him for any trades, which I regret. But you know what? I think next year will be my year that I climb the ladder in fantasy and preferably don't come in the last place. But you know what? Speaking of fantasy, I want to hear you guys' opinion. What do you think the change should be for next year to increase? For those of you who don't know, our fantasy is set up as you just don't want to be loser. It doesn't matter if you're winner. What do you think we got to do to increase that?
Like a worse punishment, you're saying? Than a buzz?
For example,
Or-
I could say an example for you. I know a league where a buddy or coworker of mine has the winner got to dress the loser's outfit to a bar, for example. So imagine wearing a shirt that says this guy needs a BJ, and a 2-2 going to the bar. Like, what do you think the winner needs to incentivize a more competitive playoff?
That is interesting. I mean,
It
if we double down with the buzz again, which I mean, I think a buzz is terrible. You know, it's a long-lasting terrible
out of
punishment.
all punishments, I think that is probably
Maybe the
I think
winner
it's-
gets to shave the head. Just
I kind of like
that.
it. Give it a winner's like luck to it. I just think the buzz is like it's not very punishment-y. I mean, one of the people in the league also already shaved his head, so it's kind of like he could have came last. It wouldn't matter.
yeah.
Is it more incentive to have several losers instead of one overall loser, or like one overall loser and 3 more losers? I'll give you another example. I know people that have done the bottom 4 participated in the milk mile, which obviously no one ever wants to do. And I think someone else did something worse. Do you think something like that would go a long way, or would that be shot down probably?
The only issue is we're an 8-man league at the moment, so if we do 4 losers, it's
Yes.
half the league.
That would be
I'm assuming though.
It's a little
I
challenging.
think the expectations for next year is we'll maybe grow a little bit. I think we might be able to get up to 10 man.
Yeah,
which is
we might
probably
be able to get
something-
that 10.
you might be able to get to 10, but then I feel like it would probably only be like the bottom 2. But like
I think
like,
bottom 2, bottom 3 is probably good. If you're
Like,
falling
but-
7th place in a 10-man league, you
but,
kind
like
of
I like more punishments like that though, like having to do like a milk mile or having like
This just
the winners
came
get
to my
dress-
head.
or dress them up.
Yes, please go ahead.
What if the bottom 2 had to handcuff themselves together for I don't know, like 12 hours?
I like it honestly. It's it's like a throwback to the Impractical Joker's cue to a mime punishment. I think that's a great one to note down
That'd
in the
be
books.
interesting for sure.
I would love to see how it plays out. What their day I
Yeah.
think, and then to incentivize it, I think. Now I just thought about this as well, and this is off the fly. What if you let the winner decide an itinerary for them to do in that 12 hours?
That would be
Yeah,
good
like
because
2 or 3 events for them.
Yeah,
to
let's-
partake
it
in.
can't just be
For
like a regular
example,
day where,
start
like,
it
the
up
guy
at
has to go to
9:30
work.
in the morning. They get handcuffed to each other, and then the winner sets the itinerary. Everyone else could come and watch it. I think it's a great
Yeah.
way.
I actually do like that idea to then set it like
That would be
have
fun.
an itinerary, not just like the person has to go to work so they can't be
Yeah.
handcuffed.
Yeah.
We
no.
all take a trip to the Cheesecake Factory.
Example, yeah, just
Or,
go to
or
the
Texas
mall.
Roadhouse. It'd be
Mall
fun cutting a
handcuffs.
steak with one hand.
Just
Yeah.
like a nice game of mini golf. Even that, I would love to see
Yeah,
an interesting
well,
thing like that.
I think we should promote this because I actually really do like this fun.
I like this idea, and it's this is
Yeah.
off the fly. None of us took notes for this. We just have an itinerary of what to go through. So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I think this is
Handcuffing,
We'll bring this up to the league manager.
that would be my
Yes.
vote is for handcuffing the bottom 2. I
and
like
then
that.
Yeah,
there's
makes
always
sense
the
for sure.
classic, my favorite: donate to a sperm bank and become a father.
Yeah.
I would love to see that one
It's
next
funny.
year. I don't
Ugh.
think it's gonna happen. It's a great.
That probably would not happen.
Might run into issues with Ryan's erectile dysfunction, but
Yeah,
we'll get over it.
It's you win some, you lose some. But I mean that's what I was thinking for fantasy. And to finish it off, I lost fantasy. It was a bad year. The Mazda was broken down, like we said, full total. No, not needed an oil change. It needed new everything, and it just couldn't
They-
make it.
They wanted me to lose. They wanted me to.
It was the
I think we could all agree this gentleman would look very funny with a shaved head.
And
Yeah, you want to know what the league name was called? Ryan's going bald.
and there was no bias at all in the
Winning.
league. One of
No.
my favorite things about the league was controversial. We had odd rules for our league.
That was very
Yeah.
For example,
We're gonna have to set those in stone week 1,
yes,
probably.
week 1 will be set in
yes,
stone.
and not like week 4.
Our
So,
players
yeah.
were heavily incentivized for their yards. If they got 100 yards, it was 10 points. 200 was 20. If a kicker missed a field goal, this rule was instituted late in the year.
Was it extra? It was extra point.
Extra
right?
point, sorry. Yeah, an
Yeah,
extra
extra-
point. What was
Minus 1,000.
it? Minus 1,000. I stand on this rule. I think it should be
Yeah.
actually kept.
Maybe 1,000's a bit extreme,
Maybe minus like
but yeah,
50.
Like minus 50. I kind of got the short end of the stick on that
Minus
one.
50 or 25.
Because like any kicker that I would pick up, every single one would manage to miss one singular extra point, and then that would just doom me.
I wish
for
it
the
was me.
entire game.
But just to keep it rolling. Final thoughts on the Super Bowl. Final thoughts on any of us.
hope Eagles win. I guarantee Chiefs will win though.
Yes.
I hope Eagles will win too. It'll be fun to argue with some of my family members who want the Chiefs to win, but it most probably definitely will be Chiefs win. Then.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the game. Not excited to see who's playing. Let's put it that way. I think over under Taylor Swift will be shown 7 times. Maybe you know what? I would put the line at 10.5. I think she's gonna get double digits.
Surprisingly, when I was watching the Bills Chiefs game, I think she was only shown like 2 or 3 times.
See, that was a good game. That was more competitive.
Yeah, that was a really good game.
That doesn't get talked about
Controversial
enough.
calls
Yes,
for sure.
yet again, another game. The Chiefs do
Poorly
get some lucky calls, but I mean, it was just it was a competitive game. You hate to see the Chiefs win it, as I like the Bills this year. I think Josh Allen might get MVP. But if you look at the stats, I think Lamar Jackson does technically deserve it over him. But I think just based off the records of who led the team better, I would take Josh Allen. It's definitely close though. It's definitely a close contest between the two. I mean, rookie of the year, I don't think it's a close contest. I think it's Jaden Daniels. Bo Nix is sneaking in there as like a option, but it's like one of those where like we got to fill up the rest of the ballot. Let's just put Bo Nix in there.
A lot of people are throwing Brock Bowers out there too.
I thought he had a great year.
My perspective with that, he did have a great year for sure. But the Raiders did have nobody to throw to but him.
Yes.
Like his yards were given to him. I mean, he's a great player and all, but I think like Daniels really went for it, and he didn't have the greatest team, but damn, he did good.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that heavily. I think it was just. Is a Raider? I mean, it's hard to give someone on the Raiders the rookie of the year, just given how the season ended. Like, clearly, no matter what, you didn't really give an impactful. He played well. He did really well. Fantasy, he scored a lot, but he didn't like improve the record very much. Well, but I think that will chop us up on Super Bowl here. I mean, we don't really have much else to talk to you about on it.
We will be coming back to football later.
Yes, we got a favorite segment of mine that I decided to institute.
Yeah.
Just. I'll elaborate more into it when we come up to it, but
And you'll see why.
And now I just want to talk about my favorite topic. As a 6'3" nonchalant man, there's a lot of unfairness in the world. Everyone's still fighting the battle. Protests are made, contests are we haven't won it all. Sometimes products that people need, they still have to pay for. That's right. Ladies,
it's ridiculous.
And gentlemen, and heroes. I'm talking about feminism, as I am a strong supporter of.
Yes.
I just want to hear your thoughts on it, Ryan.
I think that you are absolutely right in all that, Tommy. Women. Women should not have to pay for their hygiene and feminine products. Like, that's kind of ridiculous that they have to pay for all that when men's hygiene and products are very minimal to an extent, where women have to pay a lot more for everyday things.
Yeah, and I can have a harder take on it. It's just why don't you make it free? Why don't you make it available, accessible? It's unacceptable to me.
It really pisses me off to think about it.
Gavin, you want to share how you dislocated your shoulder?
Humans' right, female rights protests. It really took a corner.
And I don't know.
Cops got in my face. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, and I expressed this to you guys before. My first semester on campus, I had a criminology class. It was a lovely class, great, learned things. But the issue was, it always bumped into my women's protest time, and I had to. I was showing up 5 minutes late, and there's just no exceptions on it. It's just unacceptable, if you ask me, that we're still.
Was the professor just not lenient, letting you leave 10 minutes early?
It was before class, so I would be late for the showing. It just. It's I think it's unacceptable in a time like this that we still are, dealing with these issues. But, just as 6'3" men, as such as ourselves, 6'2" on a bad day, I think it's just important we're still fighting that fight. But you know what? I think we leave it at that. Agree. And you know what? We just move on to our next topic here. Ryan, you're a man of college. You're a man of knowledge. You're a man of engineering.
That I am.
And you're a man of handsome ability. How's college life going?
College is going all right. As a first time going into a community college, unlike you, Tommy, who's at a 4-year college, I took the community college route. Will be transferring to a 4-year soon, next semester. Actually,
my school's rival as well. So,
yes, his school's rival. He'll be hilarious. My school beat his school's football team.
I was at the game. I wish I sold the ticket. I could have gotten $200 for it, and I didn't. I do regret that.
It was pretty. You could have got $200.
Oh, 100%. people were posting before. I think 180, 160 was kind of the ballpark I saw, but
Jeez.
yeah, I know people that were paying money for it. So
Yeah, so I will be going to his
Yeah.
school's rival, hour and a half away. Hilarious. But yeah, being at community college means that I was able to stay at NCG for these extra 2 long years. So that's how I was able to get to know Gavin more. Because if I didn't, I would have saw him for like a year, maybe even only like a semester, and then I would have been gone.
it's
And
very true.
Gavin would have had
Yeah.
a whole different staff,
And I mean,
different
Yeah.
manager.
yeah, a lot of changes would have been made. But with community college and the transferring route coming on, you got any like pros and cons you think about it when you come upon your decisions here?
I do kind of wish I still did go to the 4 year college. The only reason why I went to the 2 year community college was because I feel like a lot of high schoolers have this problem, and a lot of young people, they just didn't know what they wanted to do. They didn't know what field or degree they wanted to go into. They didn't know what college they wanted to go to. And the community college is just the back is kind of like always there because you could still get your general education points there, and then you could transfer. But I do really wish I did start off at a 4 year college. I would have probably enjoyed college life more. But
And you know
can't
what?
turn back time.
Yeah, to back you up here, I couldn't agree more. Personally, when I came looking, they always tell you it's never too early to look. They tell you as a freshman, they tell you as a sophomore in high school, at least where we're from. But you know, the pressure when you're a senior, looking up on your colleges. I think I applied to 10 schools, no intent on where I was going. I found my way at Iowa just purely off of like just looking further into it. But I had made
Mhm.
that decision really late. I
Like
made it. I think I'd say I made it about probably coming up to close to now. It's probably closer to maybe early March, late March, probably around that time frame
I
is
think
when
you
I
made it
decided.
on decision day, if I'm correct. Right?
Yes, I did make it on decision
Yeah.
day, which I don't know when it was. I had
Yeah.
personally a lot of options coming in. I know juniors was a option I could have gone for, which is a hockey program for those who know. Uh, but it's I ended up going the Iowa route. Didn't want to defer, and I just community college just didn't feel right for me, so I chose to go to a 4 year
Yeah,
myself.
just having all that pressure on a 16, 17, 18-year-old in high school to figure out what they want to do for the rest of their life is very difficult and hard.
For sure.
And that's what Gavin's going through right now. Just right
That
now,
is what I'm going through here.
you haven't decided where you wanted to go to yet.
And then yeah, someone in the process. You
No.
want to elaborate what the thought process is when it comes down to it?
So I definitely don't want to be close to home, but I don't want to go too far. So I've kind of applied to everywhere near me. Getting back, I got back by a lot of them. Of course, not Iowa, the one I really want to go to, probably.
Yeah, where Tommy is.
But where
Sigma.
is that? Definitely not Iowa State. People that go there are weird. But
Alright.
I'd say my top choice at the moment with what I've been accepted to is probably Illinois State.
It's good college.
It's a great
Hour
school.
50 away. Every
Uh,
time I've gone up there to see Mr. Carpiel's brother, it's been a good time. Bloomington seems like a great town.
It is a
So-
very nice town, Bloomington Normal.
I played up
Nice.
in
And
I played at their college hockey rink before too, and it's very nice up there where I've been. It's great.
Yeah.
Uh,
And in terms of choosing like which field, I'm thinking more of business, maybe in the marketing sector. So
Business is always good.
That's-
You could get into
Mhm.
most jobs with a business degree.
it's always great.
it always change too.
And I think
You always
Always change.
expanding farther past your undergraduate with a master's in business is usually pretty common, and it's not the most difficult thing in the world too, which I know a lot of people tend to do. So it's always great getting to know that. The only thing I complain about when it comes to Illinois schooling is Illinois is such bums when it comes to college, in my opinion. They tend to give you the most little off, which I hate personally. To be fair, I think I'm paying the same as I would in most Illinois schools at Iowa, but I am out of state, so I feel like I wish Illinois offered more
Our-
advantage.
Our in-state offer does blow horrendously for
Yes.
sure, but
I'm getting $9,000 just to go to Iowa State because it's an out of state school. From Illinois, I'm getting $9,000 just to go.
yeah, it's definitely flawed
Yeah.
for sure.
You got to think what's going on that I should be paying more in the state I'm already in to go to school than, to be fair, I don't want to see what the out of state is, but the in state isn't very helpful. I think it's about the same as out of state, honestly, from what I've heard and seen.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's like college. life in general in there, it's interesting. Life, people,
Mm.
a lot of people adapt to college. A lot of people, friends, you just new places, all that aspect. Some people I know like to get pets. Ryan, I've heard,
Not a great decision, I'd say.
yeah, not, it's, you got to be responsible enough to get it. Ryan, you're one with an expert of a pet recently right now. I know you have two lovely female dogs, but
Mhm.
you also have inherited another critter in your house. Do you want to elaborate for the people?
I have. It's not my critter. It's my brother's critter.
Mhm.
It's a cat. I never
Yes.
thought there would be a cat
And
ever
what's
in my
the
house.
cat's lovely name again for the people?
Jinx.
Mm.
Jinx. It's a nice
Yes.
name. Out of all names, unlike our other coworker
Yes.
who
As for those who know, it is the villain from the Hive in Teen Titans. But
Yes.
the one thing I've heard about the tricky thing about this cat is their feeding schedules. Do you want to just like,
Mhm.
It is
yeah,
strange.
what's the schedule look like a day of feeding this cat? What's when's it's feeding time? When's it going at it?
day of feeding, it's a very interesting time for feeding. It gets fed at like 9 a.m., 8 a.m.
I would say it's
Most likely
yeah.
10 for breakfast. And then it wants to be fed again around like 5, 6.
Okay, yeah.
But then
yeah.
it gets hungry again for a third time.
And then just
And what
I've
do you
never
think
seen
it
the
is?
cat. I've never seen the cat. Is it like what are we talking about? Like
Yeah.
chunky?
It's it is not a large cat.
If I lift it up, is
It
it
is
am I
growing.
am I doing some
No.
curls with this cat?
No, you're not doing curls with a cat, but it is a young cat, so it is growing up, so it is eating a lot of food. The third time is midnight. That's when
It's interesting, and you've told me before, and I thought that was very surprising.
It's-
it is. It is.
A minute time, it's definitely inconvenience to the schedule. Definitely hard to
It
get
really-
around.
It really is inconvenient.
Yeah,
especially-
bailing on plans to feed a cat at midnight definitely raises a couple eyebrows or questions for sure.
Yes, but
Yeah.
you guys still had a fun time with your plans. I didn't have to necessarily be there.
A
You
lovely
guys had a fun
time and a lot of plans, and we
Mhm.
didn't need the celebrity like Ryan. And speaking of celebrities, Ryan, we got a question we've been meaning to ask you.
Mhm.
Millions of celebrities in the world, thousands, millions, tons. Some in
So
some in
many.
America, some in Europe, some in Asia, everywhere across the world, even
Mhm.
Antarctica. If you probably look,
Okay.
what would your celebrity crush be?
Um,
If you had to dial
Mine
it down, you give one or two. You could go one.
mine would have to be Ana de Armas.
I like that take. I think I great in Blade Runner. Lovely,
Great.
very pretty. Can't
She's
hate on it.
also- She's also very pretty in Gray Man. Saw that.
I
movie too.
can't say I've seen it. I have not viewed it. But I've seen her in Blade Runner. Just
Mhm.
great actress. Great actress indeed.
But Gavin has an even better take.
Yes,
this.
if for those of you who have known Disney, it's quite the company. And Gavin, just you want to take it
Naomi
away.
Scott. Naomi Scott, right there. I see that every morning I wake up, every time I go to bed. Live action Aladdin, I'm sure you guys have all seen it.
Mhm.
Jasmine, Princess Jasmine, great role. She played it perfectly.
And you know what?
Smile 2 just came out recently.
Yeah.
She's
You wanna-
gorgeous
You want to
and
share
great
how many times
personality.
you've seen the live action Aladdin?
Too many to count, to be honest with you. And I'd say I'm a musical guy. I like music a ton. She's really good at singing and stuff like that. So
Yeah. One can't hate on some
Uh,
musicals. I mean, plenty of good ones. Disney's probably up there with it.
And then
Uh,
Smile too. They made her an artist, so she was
Yeah.
singing the entire time.
but she did a great job in that role in general. Smile 2.
and
She did a good movie.
to go back on Aladdin, she's got the greatest original song in that movie, Speechless.
Mhm.
If
Yes,
for those who haven't heard the pleasure of hearing it, it's a lovely song. Great to
Really-
most
really
slept
is.
on song in history.
yeah.
I'll put that.
You know what? But just to go back on Ryan's taste here, there's a popular actress that's coming comes around when people ask about celebrity crushes. I just want to know the opinion of Sydney Sweeney in your eyes.
Sydney Sweeney. So, as all of you guys all know, she's got some of these. I feel like that's the only reason why people like her to an
Mhm.
extent.
To be
Like,
fair,
as
I've
an
commented on
actress-
this. Anyone but you. It's like you took an actor that couldn't act and you made a movie about people
Yeah.
fake acting to hide the fact they can't act. I think that's exactly what that movie
Yeah.
was. It was pretty unbearable.
As an actress, she's a very mediocre actress. There
Yeah.
there could be so many better options as an actress. But I feel like that is really the only reason why
Yeah.
a lot of people like her. Just like Naomi Scott, she's beautiful, but she's also very talented.
Talented.
Same thing
Yes.
with Ana de Armas, same kind of situation.
Yeah.
But with Sydney Sweeney, I feel like she just has one, but not the other.
And you know what? I think it's kind of becoming evident in just the recent ads she's been in. I forgot what company it is. It's just like what men's deodorant, men's soap.
Dr. Squash.
Yeah, it's just clearly just hammering the idea that
Mhm.
if you're attractive enough, I guess you can make money.
Yeah,
But
and that's what he is capitalizing on.
And
before
I'd
the
say,
stars.
like the trend to like her definitely kind of deters you. Like, if every single man out there likes her, gotta find another crush.
Yeah.
and Gavin's found
Mine.
one. Gavin's found one. It is Ryan Nicolius. But to to hit off the celebrities, let's go on to another thing. We had a recent debate on my Twitch on a ranking we had. We went over fast food places, and it's obviously three people are never going to agree on the same taste. I don't know, unless I don't think no matter what, no matter if you're related, if you're strangers, you're never going to agree. And we just want to talk about our go-to fast food place and why. Why like what's a place that like you're hungry late at night, early at night, just whenever you're feeling, and you're like, I could always eat this. And I'll start off the first chapter with Ryan here.
There is a lot of many different places to choose from, and it is very difficult for me to choose one over the other. But I think for me, as a Midwestern, I think my number one by a slim, 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 slim margin,
Some would say a Slim Shady.
Slim Shady,
Yes, go ahead.
is Culver's. I know that's kind of a hot take. Second would have to be Chick-fil-A. Third would be Cane's. Fourth, Portillo's.
Okay. I could understand the Portillo's for people. It's also Midwestern now. It's Midwestern.
It has been more expanding.
It's
Same
expanding,
thing with
but it's
Culver's.
it's one of those you try it and you understand the hype. Uh, Culver's definitely would be a hot take in my opinion. Just it's good food. It is. But it's not my come to mind. I think my first place. People say it's bland. It's poor taste. There's better out there. What are you thinking? Are you an idiot? Why are you so handsome? It's McDonald's. That's where I think I always end up at. Just ease of access, quickness. I could deal with it. The menu. Some say it's just burgers and fries. I think it's elaborate. You could get chicken. Chicken tenders are on there somewhere, but from we discovered on the bracket. But I've always been a McDonald's fan, even though the prices are going up unnecessarily.
Yeah,
I
because
think
I remember the deals on the app used to be like a buy one
yes.
10-piece quarter pounder or Big Mac, get one for free, get a 10-piece, get another one for $1.
Yeah, the deals are
Never see
tending
those
to get
anymore.
worse here, but
Never see those anymore.
I'm a big fan of it, and I think I'll die on that hill that I can respect McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And then,
I have a sense I could know what Gavin's going to choose here, but if you just want to go and make your decision.
I'm thinking Portillo's.
No, that was not what I was expecting.
I like that
Were you
option.
expecting Burger King?
Yeah, I was thinking
So,
either like Burger King or maybe Wendy's, to be honest from you. But I do respect the Portillo's choice.
I mean,
It has a lot of food options.
because I'm thinking of the aspect if you had to eat one for the rest of your life,
Mhm.
Portillo's has so many options, and I've never had a bad thing. Like their salads are great, their
If we are-
burgers are great,
if
their
we-
hot
if we
dogs
are-
are great.
just
If
like
we are going off of one for the rest of your life, I would have to agree with the Portillo's just because the spread of items that you can get at Portillo's
And it's all
is-
delicious for
Mhm.
sure.
It's very good.
I can understand it.
And price is fairly good. I don't know if you guys just saw this actually. The most valuable item, like for fast food, is now a Portillo's hot dog over McDonald's. I think it was a McDouble or something like that.
Yeah, and I believe I haven't had a bad experience with Portillo's, to be fair. And you know what? They're
Yeah,
just
never been one.
no, they're just
Yeah.
they are consistently good, and they do have a wide variety. But
They did mess up our shake one time, and
That was because of me.
yes, in return they gave us three new shakes and then 3 additional entrees and shakes.
yeah,
Great
they're-
management.
It was very nice management. It's kind of on me, but kind of also on the person that was taking my order. We were kind of both confusing each other onto what we wanted, and then I settled
Disconnect in
on
the communication for sure.
disconnected in communication, settled on something that I didn't actually want. I still kind of like the shake that I got, but of course the people that actually wanted the shake didn't.
yeah, and it's just they are just consistent, and they're, they have a lot of achievements and a lot of accomplishments. And, as I'm on call with one, we've got a man of many achievements and many accomplishments myself, and Ryan Carpeel, obviously. But Ryan, if you just want to one big question we had and we wanted to ask you is just, what do you think your biggest achievement in life was so far?
Biggest achievement in life.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously more to come, more to go. But if you had to put a pinpoint on one thing you've done, one aspect of your life so far, just what do you think it would be?
I guess it necessarily wouldn't be an achievement per se, but I think like most like best experience that I have. I'm gonna kind of go off of
Yeah,
that.
I like it. Yeah.
Most best experience was going to Italy for a week.
Hmm.
That was just a different time. I was there because my brother did a study abroad program there for a semester. So we went in a week early so we could visit the country. It was beautiful. We were in Florence for the whole week. We took day trips to Venice, Rome, and Pisa, and everything about Italy was just so nice. The scenery was perfect, the old architecture, the food, the people, just everything about Italy was nice. The weather was perfect. We went in, I believe it was January, late January, early February. So it was like high
And
60s, low 50s. It
I
was just
I remember
perfect.
the time you went because we were currently seniors in high school and we were
Yes, sir.
in our senior project, and I remember you took our buddy Jack, who
I did.
hopefully we could get on the podcast at some point. It might be
I,
a Jack and Ryan co
I
guest,
would
but
I would like that. Me and him both co.
yeah. But I remember the time because you took him as well, and
Mhm.
I personally want to go to Europe at some point. I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, I was supposed
Just travel country to country
to.
would be lovely.
Yeah, it was kind of like a kind of last minute thing, just because earlier that in our high school career we were supposed to go on a Germany trip
Hmm. And
the
I know
summer between
there was
our
supposed to,
freshman year and
yeah.
sophomore year, but that got canceled because of COVID.
Yeah, and I know
Because
I had something similar as there was supposed to be I think it was technically a World War II trip. I took it as a
yeah, to
across
France.
Europe trip.
Yeah, so you went to Britain, France, Belgium,
Yeah,
Germany,
it
I
was gonna
think.
be something like that. I obviously didn't go on it because of COVID, and they kept delaying it, and I was just like, I'd rather get
Yeah,
my money back.
they delayed it, then delayed it, then delayed it, then delayed it, and then my finally decided, yeah, let's just take the money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to go to Germany, Austria, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland. It was supposed to be beautiful. My brother went on the same trip when he was in high school, and I was really looking forward to it. So when my dad was like, "Hey, let's go to Italy instead for the week," it it was it was it was great. And then we asked Jack to come along since he was supposed to come with us to since I was supposed to go with him to Germany.
Hmm.
And then yeah, it was
Yeah,
great. The all the souvenirs that I got, Jack got a very nice cross, like a golden
I
cross for
have.
like
I've
three
seen him
hundred
wear it.
dollars.
It is a nice
It is
cross.
a very nice cross that he got.
You know what? It's brought up a thing like is there any place that you like kind of want to see yourself traveling to now that you've been to Italy, you've seen a bit of Europe? Any dream spot you want to kind of visit, vacation?
I would still like to visit Germany still
Hmm.
in southern Germany, but I feel like Japan. I know a lot of people say like Japan, but like I actually am dead serious about like visiting Japan.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Japan considered like the most technical city nowadays, or the most technically advanced? Uh,
Something like that.
some around that. I've seen people just credit its technology when you go there.
Yes. All of like East Asia, like South Korea and Japan, and then obviously China too, that they are very tech savvy compared to other cities here in the West.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Tokyo, honestly, but
Yeah,
I don't know how fun it would be or like how long you could be there until you
yeah.
get bored. To be
I think
honest.
I,
You could be in Tokyo for a while. It is the biggest metropolitan city in the world. It is massive.
I think from what I've heard, it's probably like if I were to ever go to Japan, some like myself, I don't know if that's ever gonna come about or in the future,
Yeah.
but I think it's like a probably like a 2 week kind of thing. I think it'd be cool to visit around surrounding cities because obviously Tokyo is huge, but there's other places. You know,
I'm gonna send a picture of Tokyo into our lovely group chat
yeah,
here.
and I could show that.
That is a aerial footage of Tokyo, of just how big it is.
Yeah, and I could try and quickly show this for the people. If my mouse wants to pull up on screen, there we go. And then Gavin, if you want to expand, if there's like a place you'd want to go while I'm pulling this up. or if there's a place you've
Yeah,
ever
I
thought
mean,
about
I
visiting.
know, I know we have talks of a Nashville trip when you turn 21. I'd love to stay up in Nashville for a little bit. I've been there. I've been like in passing there. Never stayed there though for more than a night. So I would like a good Nashville trip. Maybe at some point go to Cali.
San Diego was very beautiful. I went there.
Yeah, my mom's a Disney mom, so maybe Disneyland. I've only gone to Disney World before, and then maybe Hawaii if I feel
Yeah.
extravagant, I
And
guess.
then
Why
here's
I
Or New York
a
don't
City.
little clip
Never
of the
been to New
city
York
for
City either.
those watching. Just a big metropolitan city. But yeah. Yeah, I think I've always talked about turning 21. Vegas is always, I think, a thought process that people
Oh
think
yeah,
of.
and Vegas. Vegas, I know is gonna happen though.
Vegas,
I'm
I've
Vegas.
I'm going to Vegas.
yes, I've expressed though. I think Nashville would be a lot cooler than Vegas in my opinion, just because I've been downtown Nashville before. It's purely a you got to be 21 to experience it, but it's just live music. It's great country bars. A lot of just it's a great environment in my opinion. I think I'd love to be, spend a weekend in it would be lovely.
Yeah, I went to Las Vegas when I think I was like 16, so of course I wasn't of age to really do
Yeah.
any of the fun stuff, but like Las Vegas was still very nice.
It's great
I Las
sightseeing.
Vegas.
I know
Yeah,
my
right.
brother went there recently, and it's the with the huge what's it the ball
Yeah, the
Sphere,
ball.
the
the
biggest sphere.
sphere yeah
The Sphere wasn't built, and when we were there, they were still building the Raiders stadium
yeah
when I
they
went.
just it's
So,
they're constantly growing new things for tourists. It's definitely a
Yeah,
cool place to visit.
saw the Hoover Dam. That was
Mhm.
nice.
Obviously, like me personally, I would like to like a dream place. I definitely want to go across Europe at some point. Very
Yeah,
expensive, don't have the money, but a
very
21
expensive.
trip Nashville Vegas could be pretty cheap and done really well.
Yeah, I could drive down there. Don't just have a week's worth of luggage.
Yeah, and
Definitely controversial on my end. Not globally interested, to be honest with you.
I can
I mean, all
understand
the
that.
places I named is
Yeah,
in country.
United States is a
No,
big enough country.
yeah, no. At least now, not much desire to go out of the country.
Yeah, which I think is pretty understandable. There's
It
not
is very
not a lot of
understandable.
need sometimes to travel out.
A place that I might be going to soon if I get the money is Iceland.
Mm. I could
Mm.
I've heard good things about it. I've never I've seen videos of it. Iceland looks great.
There's
Looks
not really much to necessarily do
yeah,
besides like drink in the capital and then drive around their highway that they have that
yeah,
circles
but it's
the
still
island.
definitely a nice thing to tourist attract. I'm sure they have a lot of attractions.
Yeah, like
But
hot springs and all that.
yeah, all that.
You definitely have to get an Icelandic hot dog when you go down
I've heard great things, which I hope I could
Very
talk
good.
there.
to
Yes.
talk about at some point. But
Yeah.
yeah, just to finish up the accomplishments. There's another question I had here. Obviously, you're going to be going to Iowa State coming up here
Hmm.
next year. Is there
That's correct.
anything you're starting to miss about the high school days? What any changes you've had up here? Any things you've looked back
Um,
on and you're like, you know what, that was kind of nice. I kind of missed that.
just going to school and not really having to worry about like grades and classes because I was luckily one of those people that didn't really necessarily need to like consistently study for assignments and tests and homework. So I would learn it when I was taught it and then I would just be able to do it and then not have to worry about it and then just spend my time doing other things. I know for a lot of people at high school that's not necessarily that they were able to do, but just being able to be with multiple different groups of friends. Because in high school, I would have a lot of different groups of friends. I had soccer friends. I had my board game friends that I play with, video game friends that I don't really talk to anymore, and then just a bunch of like just other people that I would still talk
Your
to.
engineering friends.
Yes.
Yeah, I can
Tommy.
I couldn't agree more. It's definitely more you go more to college and it becomes more clicky. You'd say. I mean, your groups get smaller. Obviously, people come apart, but it's definitely nice. The high school having that ease of access of people all that.
Luckily, still here. Most of my board game group either went to my community college with me or have full time jobs. So luckily, I could still see them on the regular. But yeah, other people that went off for college and all that stuff, I don't see anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have those people nearby. But
Mhm.
just with that, I have one more question before we cut to our other segments of the podcast. Uh, it's might be the most important question I think we have to ask you. It's a dying question. It's been burning for me to ask you. You just I'm really interested to hear the answer, see it, just vision this answer.
Vision.
What color of hippo do you play in Hungry Hungry Hippos?
What color? I think I would have to go with yellow.
That's a choice. I see myself. I'm more of a blue man. I like the blue Hungry Hippo. Occasionally you could see me on purple. That's also another take.
I like the
Kevin?
Sigma pink. I do.
Yeah.
I like the Sigma pink.
You didn't strike me as a yellow. That's surprising. I never.
I think we can all agree yellow's the worst. So I think we see the correlation there.
Yeah, but why would you consider yellow as the worst?
I don't like yellow. I don't.
And you know what? I've heard similar rumors from the surrounding people that yellow isn't the greatest. To be fair, I don't know the exact layout of the board, Ryan. I hope you're looking it up to see the colors because I have no clue.
I am.
I thought there was a blue and purple.
There are different ones, but it looks like the main one is a pink, orange, yellow, and blue. There are
I'll take
ones
blue.
that have red, green, blue, and yellow.
Yeah,
But
I think I'm more of the
not
blue
really
guy.
not really seeing any purples here.
Yeah, I kind of made that up. You know what? My Hungry Hippo board knowledge is fading a little bit. It's been a while.
Yeah,
But
I mostly see a pink, green, yellow, and orange.
I like blue. I think blue's a fair shout for me. I like to see we're all different. It's just like how every person is a little different. You're not going to see the same make and model. Not like a 2024 all black Mazda, that's for sure. But
You don't see those everywhere.
Already to the jokes already.
Yeah, not every day. But yeah, no, with that ends the questions. And we're gonna take a quick break here, and coming up next, we're gonna have some nice top 5, top 3 drafts, and my favorite question quiz for Ryan, which I'll introduce a little later. So with that, we're gonna take a quick break. Stick around.
All right, guys, we're back. We are going to be doing top 5 drafts. Starting off, we're going to be doing top 5 video games of all time. So be interesting. Ryan, you have first pick. To the guest.
All right, are we just going like one and then one, or am I just listening?
Let's do a snake draft. So
it's a draft, so we'll just go down and up.
All right. For my first one, it's kind of just gonna be kind of like a grouping of them of video games. So they're all the same thing, but kind of like not each specific game that I'm gonna list. I'm just gonna say the Plants vs Zombies.
Okay.
Whole saga. Of like,
that's a good mobile game for sure. We could
it is.
The mobile
games. Mobile games brings a whole other aspect to it.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking mobile games myself, and definitely think of it. You kind of open up the world to games here.
Have you guys played Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare on the Xbox?
I have. I've
heard great things.
Underrated game, really underrated.
It is such a great.
I mean, it's not gonna beat some of your others, but the whole like Plants vs Zombies, the app to that, it's made it longer than I think anyone else would have thought.
That's for me. Just that was one of the games. Like I had it on my phone. I had it on my 3DS. Had it on the Xbox.
Yeah, it's
the game has stuck through some trenches too.
Yeah,
it has, especially with EA. Once EA took it over.
Yeah, I mean, EA definitely probably boosted it when it came to the whole Xbox world. But Gavin, you got the next pick here.
It's definitely gonna be seen as basic. But OG Fortnite, that was just.
Like it. Honestly, if that didn't go in the one.
You were running home from school.
Yeah.
You were running home from school. New seasons dropped. You're waking up at 3 a.m.
I associate OG Fortnite with Christmas almost at this point now. Just the Christmas Fortnite, it's unbeatable. It's definitely great. And with sorry, I'll scroll up here. With what I got left on the board, I get the 1 and 2. I am going to take Minecraft off the board in the 1. I've never seen a game more consistent than Minecraft, in my opinion. It's a 2-week phase. We're currently in ours a little bit right now, currently playing it. But it's just you're always going back to it. It's just a consistent game. And then the 2, I haven't thought much about it. I saw OG Fortnite and Minecraft going up. I'm gonna take a game. I know that there's a game I want to take early, but I'm gonna leave it on the table because I don't think any of you guys will take it. But I'm gonna toss out Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I think. This is gonna include zombies. So I'll just go.
So this is what we're doing here, where we can't select what someone else chooses.
You're allowed to choose another.
Trap.
Yeah, but you're allowed to choose another.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, I wrote that wrong.
Or Black Ops.
We'll just do that. Call of Duty B2. So you could choose another one. Call of Duty isn't off the table. I think that's a game
Alright.
that's a game where I don't think you could take just the entirety of it.
Yeah.
Because it depends. Like you got Warzone, you got, Black Ops, Ghost. There's so much. I think BO2
Yeah.
is just iconic. The zombies in it. I mean, BO6 was pretty fun, but BO2 was just really good. So that's what I'm gonna take from our two.
Yeah, I already know that my list of video games is going to be drastically different than your guys' is going to be.
Which I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's not for
Especially
us
I'm
to
because
going
decide.
based off like vibes of when mine were out, and I think I'm gonna have to hit my second with Damn, I gotta lock him in my mind right now. GTA 5.
You know what? I'm surprised that slipped my mind. That's a great
I,
one.
I
Great
love
pick in the
GTA
two.
5. I put a lot of time and effort into GTA 5.
It's a
Yeah,
great
so
pick.
it's
It really is, and I respect it. And then Ryan, you're back to the 2 and 3 here.
All right. My number 2, you guys have probably never heard of this, so you'll probably have to look it up to show the pod. It's called the Command and Conquer series.
You know what? I think I do know of this. I'm blanking on it.
There are a bunch of games. There's Red Alert 3, all the Red Alerts. There's Tiberian Sun.
It's just for the sake of my time, I'm not looking it up, but
Strategy game.
yeah, strategy games.
Strategy base building game.
And then
You're a big strategy game guy.
yeah,
Yes.
there you could already see based off the list. There's two different. One is two strategy games, Plants vs Zombies. I mean, obviously the Warfare isn't as much strategy, but I would consider Plants
Yeah.
PVZ to be more
PvZ.
strategy based. And then we got the shooter games basically.
Yep.
And then for your 3 pick, Ryan, on
My
the board again,
third
on the
pick,
clock.
It's going to be OG Overwatch.
I don't mind it. I was never a big Overwatch guy myself. Sorry. I never got
I
into it,
played
but
a lot of Overwatch.
that's understandable. And then Gavin, back up on the 3, which may be cutting in and out here again. Gavin's been having some internet issues. Think he's back?
Yeah, I think I'm back here.
Yeah, we got you back here now. Tends to happen when you're doing a podcast from.
You still see me,
different
right?
places. Yeah, we still see
Okay.
you.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to solve that issue. But for my number 3, I think I'm gonna have to take Disney Infinity.
And that's
That
a
game-
bold.
Oh, that reminds me of one game that I'm gonna.
Ryan, I might take that game from you now that I've thought about it.
Ryan just remembered Splatoon on the Wii. Okay.
No,
So we
not
get to
that.
That's a great pick. Definitely an underrated game. And you know what? I'm gonna match your Disney Infinity. And you know what? I'll leave some stuff on the board for Ryan if he really thinks there's a better one. I'm gonna take Skylanders Giants.
Not just the whole thing.
No,
Just
Skylanders Giants was the best one in my opinion. Not the mix and match, the Skylanders. I spelled that wrong. I don't care. My second monitor is broken, so I can hardly see sometimes. And then on my 4 pick, I'm gonna change it up. I've taken a lot of shooting games. Skylander Giants, obviously not one, but it's
I got rid
More
of
about-
sadly all of my Skylanders except one. I kept one.
It really is just an era kind of game. You don't really play it. For my 4, I'm gonna take a game that I rely on heavily for parties and functions. And for this one, I am gonna take all of them.
I can see where this is going.
I'm taking Jackbox.
Yeah.
Really, it's is it a game? Is it not? I
Great
think it's a
game.
game. You got to download it
I-
on Steam.
I think it's a game.
And it's it really brings the
Yeah.
party to life. I think it's a great one. And then Gavin, back
I got mine.
on the
Here,
floor, Gavin.
speaking of party games, really brought me to Mario Kart.
I like it.
love
God damn.
the Mario Kart.
I was thinking.
If we want a specific one, Mario Kart Ultimate on the Wii.
Okay.
That was definitely a great Mario Kart.
And then Ryan, back up on the 4.
Well, he kind
4
of
and
took
5.
my Mario Kart there. But 4, I'll have to go with Wii Sports.
I like it. I'm shocked Wii Sports fell as low as it did. I think it's a genuinely classic.
I like my other ones.
It's a Ryan
better.
game that he's missing. Let's see his 5 though.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna put Wii Sports and Mario Kart, but since you took the Mario Kart from me, shoot. I guess I'm kind of blanking on games here, but one that does come to mind for me once again, another one that you guys have never heard of that I currently have 1,100 hours on Steam. It's a game called Hearts of Iron 4.
You know, I have heard of this one. I've I've never another strategy, if I believe correct, right?
It is
Yeah.
map strategy.
Mm-hmm. And then Gavin, do you want to say the one you thought he was going to take on his list? Just because
Yes,
I'm
I
intrigued.
will not be taking this one, but Ryan is a big Super Smash Bros. Guy. I don't know why.
You are
Yeah.
right.
That's a
You
shout.
are
Yeah.
right.
I'm shocked it didn't
It-
go. You know what? I'm shocked. I'll wait for Gavin to go to say
I
the
did.
one I'm shocked I didn't go.
I'm gonna share. I did win a tournament at a con once in Super Smash Brothers.
What was your op for the people? Who'd you play as?
This was before recently. I usually right now too, but this was on the Wii U that I did it.
Mhm.
I played Pac-Man.
Oh. You know, I'm a personal. I've played on the Switch a couple times. I like Pac-Man. He's a good op. Tend to be one of my favorites right now. I haven't played in a while, but I do like his
haven't
ability.
either.
As you guys have realized, every time I play Gandorf. Quite the guy.
Yes.
He is quite the man.
And then for your five,
Um,
Gavin.
I think I had to take a mobile game that every
Oh, I can see where this is
man,
going.
every man in the world has loved and cherished.
I actually don't know where
Clash
this is
of
gonna go.
Clans.
Oh yes.
Clash
Yeah.
Clans, yeah.
It's a great game.
Yeah. It's
Brings friends together. It truly is a great game.
I've never seen a more uniting game. They tend to have logs on Clash of Clans. They're great. It's just a great game. See,
And it's Boom Beach Ultimate.
while we've gotten to the
Or-
5, I know no one was gonna take it. Just to shout out some games I thought would be on the board. I thought like General Mario would have made it. I'm a big fan of Mario
Yeah.
Party as well, just to hit the Mario
Party,
things.
yeah.
Those are both good ones.
My
I was
dad has
never-
always loved Mario speedrunning. He always tries to be as quick as he can.
I was never a big fan of just the straight up just Mario games where like you have the levels. I was never really that big of a fan.
I didn't mind them. I thought they were okay. I'm shocked no Pokemon game came up here. Not a DS one. Not anything of that variety.
Mine,
No.
if I did put it, it would be the black and white
Mhm.
series.
That's a
Black
fair
and
one.
white,
Mine would
black
be
and white.
Pokemon Go. That's only
Yeah.
the only Pokemon game I've actually ever played. is Pokemon Go.
Yeah, and then I'll quit the stalling. My pick, I knew no one was gonna take it, and it's obviously just for me. It's just Chell. I'm gonna take Chell. Prime NHL games, those are great. If I chose a specific one, I don't know. I feel like I played 2016 a lot. I feel like I played that one, if I'm remembering correctly. I had a lot of the older ones. I definitely had 06. I definitely had 10 and 11. Those are ones I can remember. But this is the list we got right now. These are our final top 5s between the three of us. And I think they're not too terrible.
Pretty happy with mine.
All right.
Yeah, pretty.
And then I'm gonna get rid of these and we can move on to our next. If you want to introduce the
All right.
next subject.
Yeah. So our next top 5 is going to be movies released last year, 2024. We've worked through all of them. We have, or
And
at
then,
least me and Ryan have. Tommy's kind of
Hot and
here in
cold.
the holiday season.
and then
But honestly, all the big movies come out in the holiday season. So
and to change it up, just so we're keeping it fair on who's getting the first, we're gonna start with Gavin, who gets it. So I know a lot of
pull off the top. I kind of feel bad here because I think I'm going to take 2 really good ones here.
well, you just get the
First one.
You get the one, and then
Oh yeah, it's a snake draft. Never mind.
yeah.
Uh,
I get the last one.
Deadpool and Wolverine. It's a
Yes,
good one.
I
That
don't.
movie was so
I'm
good.
just gonna put Deadpool. I'm surprised it wasn't the best movie, to be honest. I'm surprised it wasn't the most selling, at least at our theater. I believe, what was the most selling at our
Yeah.
theater, if I'm correct?
It was
Wasn't it an animated or like a kids movie?
a kids one. Was it?
Yeah.
How we just had this? How we
Inside Out
forgetting?
2, maybe.
I think it was Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
That one brought a lot of.
Kids films always do that. And then I'm currently scrolling the list of the 2024 movies right now. I'm just trying to think of some that came out to me, crossed my mind.
That's what I'm looking at here too.
It's definitely hard. I mean, I know one movie that Gavin's gonna take that I just scrolled upon. You know what? I'm gonna take one. I don't know if it's gonna be as high for you guys. I thought it was one of the best movies in the summer, in my opinion. I'm gonna take Twisters. I liked it. I thought it was
I
up
did
there
like Twisters.
because there's just not like obviously there's movies like Wicked. I don't watch. I don't get. There's I mean, that's the main one. There's Challengers. I'm not gonna watch Challengers. That's not for me. But Twisters fell a little shorter than I thought, and I liked it. And then
On
Ryan,
the next pod, we definitely have to do a bottom 5 of last year.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
So I get 1 and 2 now.
1 and 2.
All right, I would have to go with my 1. I really, really enjoyed it. It was a great movie for me that DreamWorks absolutely crushed it on. The Wild
think we know
Robot.
where he's going here. Oh,
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's good though. I've heard it's
I thought
better than expected.
it was really good.
it was really good for sure.
Yeah, and then the list looks goofy, but Ryan, you have the second pick as well. Is it the snake?
Second, I would have to put this one with the Planet of the Apes movie that came out, the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I also enjoyed that movie. It was a good movie. I've never been a big fan of the series in general,
I
but
never have been either, but
I think it
really
was
enjoyed that
easy.
one.
It was easy to jump in without understanding much, to be honest. So
Yeah,
I enjoyed
I
that
really
aspect. And then it's me with the second pick. See, I think me and Gavin, while watching this film, complained about it a lot, just off of kind of like the predictability of it. But you know what? Ryan Gosling is a great actor in any movie. He's literally me. I'm taking the Fall Guy in my 2. I enjoyed the movie. Looking back on it, it's better than what I first gave it. What I
Yes.
first thought.
And that song in there is truly
Yes, it's
one of the
on
best cinematic songs I've ever heard.
I believe it is a cover of what was the song, Gavin?
I Was Made for Loving You.
Yes.
It's originally by Kiss, but it was remade by Youngblood.
Yeah.
Which, it's a little strange, but it was good.
It's genuinely it's on my playlist. It's a good song. And then Gavin, you're here with the 2 and 3 options.
Okay. I'm surprised Ryan didn't take this. I'm gonna go the sorry. I'm trying to get the actual name of it. It's the Godzilla Kong. I forgot which one. What it was actually called.
Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah, GXK.
I
Yeah, that's a
probably
good one.
wouldn't have put it in my 1 or 2 just because it was kind of a poor story.
To be fair, though,
liked
another movie
King
with
of
a
the
great
Monsters
song.
better.
Yeah. I liked Godzilla X Kong. Then for my next movie, I think I'm gonna have to go
I think I know where you're going with here. Better Man, the monkey movie. The movie no one asked for.
I'll leave that one. That one's for Ryan. He really wants that one.
I think I know which one you just talked about somehow.
I'm gonna go Beetlejuice. You know, I had a connection that I had to experience that movie for sure.
All right.
So,
I think I'm looking through my letterbox diary, and I think I might have found one that you were thinking of.
I think I know
Then I'm gonna
exactly the
say-
one that you're gonna take, or at least I would be surprised if you don't take it.
Hmm.
See, the issue is there's a lot of these movies on this list that I have not seen, so I feel like it'd be unjust to pick them if, like, I haven't watched it or seen the movie. And you know what? My 3, I just scrolled upon it. I really liked it. I've heard people that talk shit about it. I've heard people that don't like the CGI in it. I'm gonna take Mufasa. I'm a big Lion King guy, so seeing another Lion King film,
I haven't got
really
the
liked
chance to
it.
see that yet.
I did really like it. It's music's good. You get, as Gavin was saying about musicals, I mean it's hard to hate on them sometimes, but I thought it was really good. I liked the story, and it did like I thought it put justice on, like, the whole Scar wasn't a villain right away without making you feel bad about him, because I did not feel bad about it the entire time. It wasn't like the new ones, And then Ryan, the 3 and the 4 are on yours. You're on the clock.
I haven't really thought about the 4 yet, but 3, I'm gonna put Alien Romulus.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yep,
I was thinking of another one.
Oh wow!
I was looking through my diary, and I was like, oh, that is one movie.
See,
that...
I genuinely like that movie, and I didn't watch much Alien movies, so
I'm gonna say, yeah, me and my friends before that, we binge watched all of the 6 other movies before Alien Romulus came out.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna be a little surprised if it wasn't taken. I think I know what Gavin's thinking for the other one, though. I'm just looking through the list of the 2024 movies, and
I could see which one that Gavin would probably put. I'm not sure or not. I'm trying to look here through all the movies, and I kind of actually didn't really watch that many movies, but
Some of these are really niche movies that nobody gets.
So there's one that I would put on there that I did watch in 2024, but it came out in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the Godzilla -1 movie. that one I probably would, but that didn't come out in 24. Um, I guess I'd put up Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
It's it's a fair shot. Movie did really well.
That's
I've heard
probably
from
what I'd put.
a fan when I was working the day of. He's been waiting a while for it, so clearly I hope it's worth the hype for him. Uh,
Mhm.
and then in my 4, I'm tempted to take it. I'm just looking through my list here. There's 2 movies I think I want to take. I don't know. I'm really tempted. I think I'm gonna take Dune Part 2. Uh, I've
Hmm.
I watched Dune before this one came out to just like get an understanding of the story. I still was lost, but it's the second one. It's a good movie. Other than the weird bald dude kissing, that was a little. I mean, yeah, I was
Yeah.
glad I was sitting next to Ryan when that happened. But it's the movie was just good.
I had a
Um,
different experience
do
with
you know
Dune,
what? Do you know what
honestly.
day we watched that? Because I didn't log it.
I do not. I don't know the day we
You
watched it.
know, we could probably figure that out later.
Yeah,
But Dune Part 2, I didn't
Not as
watch
good
the
as the
first
first.
one, went
Not
into
as
it
good as the
blind,
first.
super long movie.
yeah.
Not much action, it's a lot of story.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
bored
yeah,
out of my
the
mind
first
for it.
and second
I've
movie
I've heard the
is a
book's really
lot
good
of
too.
yes.
And then,
It's
of course, our theater went down at the most intense scene and
Yeah.
everything.
yes. The
But,
third
yeah.
movie should hopefully have more action because it's going based off of the books, and we haven't even finished the first book. And
Yeah.
in the first book, the action's all at the
Uh,
Um, it's my turn, right? For 4?
yes, you got the 4 and the 5 coming up here.
4 and the 5. So I'm gonna throw a kids movie on there because we're kind of running out. I'm in between 2. And this is gonna make some people mad. I'm putting Red 1 and 4.
I actually, you know what? It's not great, but I think it should make the list, honestly.
It really could have been a worse movie though.
That it was either between that or Inside Out 2, and I kind of had to go there.
Mhm.
My number 5, man, we're running out for sure of movies here.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to
I
find an outstanding
I
one.
might just have to throw the Inside Out 2 on there.
I can't hate you for it. Inside Out too. I
Yeah.
mean, there is a scene that you watch it and you're like, man, am I on acid? But
Yeah,
it is a movie. It is a good movie. I enjoyed
for
it.
sure.
I enjoyed it from a hockey
Yeah.
perspective.
I actually liked it more than the first, which usually
Yes.
isn't the case
No.
with Disney movies.
The second one was pretty good, but I mean both of them were pretty
I
decent.
think the final message was anxiety was right in the movie, and you know what? Joy was kind of a she sucked. I hated her. I hated her the entire time. Uh,
Mhm.
but you know what? We've got 2 movies on the board. I'll say one that I want to take. I'm not gonna take it. I really liked Carry On. I thought it was a good movie. It's a Netflix release.
Didn't watch it. Didn't
I
watch it.
I genuinely think it was a good movie. It was good. It's just Netflix. It's a Netflix movie, so you don't understand. It's Christmas. But my 5, I personally related to it. I mean, as a feminist, as someone who stands with the
Mm.
female community, I'm gonna take It Ends With Us. It's a great film.
Mhm. It was a really great film.
And now Ryan, you've got
Did
the
you have to
5.
work that, Tommy?
I did actually. I did. I didn't
Oh, you
think it was
did.
gonna do as well as it was. Full transparency, I didn't watch it. I'm. It's
Sold out theater 10.
Let's just say we may have bent over for a couple of days there at the cinema.
Yeah.
But Ryan, last pick on the drafts, and
Last
I
pick
hope
of
it
the
ends us
draft.
up with a bang here.
For you two, it probably will not end off in a bang. I didn't really the movies that I ended up watching in the whole year of 2024. Most of them were not released in 2024, so I'm having to
We
look
did.
through.
I think we watched the Maze Runner trilogy and the Hangover
We
trilogy.
did
Yes.
watch
We-
all 3
Both
of
great
those.
trilogies.
Those were
to
2
be
that kept
honest.
coming to my head, but released.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like they just released earlier. I'm gonna have to throw the Lord of the
Uh, I didn't
the
expect that one.
war.
Yeah,
war-
the animated one.
yeah. The
Do you know
animated
the one he's missing, Tommy?
Uh,
It's a
I
DreamWorks movie. He loves them.
I
Was
I
it-
am
Was it
blanking.
Kung Fu Panda 4?
Kung Fu Panda 4.
Wow. Yeah,
I
actually,
didn't
came
like
out
it.
last
I
year.
hated it. I hated it.
to be fair,
You hated it more than Lord of the Rings, right?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. I
Story,
thought I thought you were gonna say
acting.
like Civil War or something. Which I thought that was a
I
good
didn't
movie.
watch it. I didn't
I
watch
thought
it.
it was pretty good. I watched it.
I kind of did want to watch it, but it was during that time at the theater where like I just didn't have time to really watch any movies that I wanted to watch. It was
Yeah.
either work, school, home,
Yeah.
and that was it.
It was
Like I
interesting.
know there's 2 movies on here that are really good that I didn't get a chance to watch. The Beekeeper and Gladiator 2.
I
Yeah,
did want to watch.
I didn't
those
watch either of
too.
them, and I've heard. I never watched Gladiator 1, so I thought it'd be not right to watch Gladiator 2 without the first. But yeah, here is our top fives, and now we are going to be moving on to top threes. We got 2 top 3 subjects. Gavin, if you want to introduce those.
So for our first top 3, we're gonna be doing vacation spots.
All
Kind of
right,
touched on it earlier.
and then I'll take the one off just to keep it in order, and we'll end with Ryan
No,
on
I
the
just
last one.
I just looked. We actually watched the Maze Runner trilogy in 2023.
Wow, that's
Wow.
I guess it just hit right the December then. So vacation spots. You know, I think I'm gonna take the obvious one. I mean, I know Gavin's probably gonna think of it just as he said he's a fan of in the States. I always take one every 2 years. I'm gonna take Florida off the list. I think just any spot in Florida. You guys can get specific if you want. I'm just saying Florida in general. I've been to
What was this?
Orlando.
Yeah.
What was this one again? I'm sorry, I wasn't. Paying attention.
Vacation spots.
Vacation spots.
I think just Florida in general. I think for this one we should go 1-1-1 and just
Yeah.
follow the list because it's 3. If that's
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'll go next. For vacationing, I'll probably do. I'm between 2, and I think I'm gonna land in Nashville.
I like the
just
choice.
Tennessee?
One.
Or just Nashville specifically, or Tennessee in the whole?
No,
Nashville, and yeah, Nashville. I've been
Alright.
in Tennessee. I've actually stayed in Tennessee for like 2 weeks. Outside of Nashville, it's a great state for sure.
Yeah. I like the
My
choice.
number one, I'd have to choose Wisconsin.
I don't mind it at all, honestly.
Grainhead.
All right.
And then 2 comes back to me. This is probably gonna hit close to us at home here. I'm gonna say the Bahamas. I'm gonna say Bahamas. I feel like unbiased pick. I love it.
Yeah.
Great place. I've never had more
Their
fun in
laws
in
there
a
are
country.
fantastic. Yes.
I love the
Yes.
laws. It's a lovely place. And
Very
then
lovely
it puts
place.
it puts Gavin at the 2 here.
I'm gonna go the Vegas.
You've hit the 2 bachelor spots right there, and
You
I don't
really
mind it. I
have.
think it's great.
Really have. I'd say South Carolina.
Okay.
More specifically in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
I don't know how to spell it. I feel like it's like that. No, thank
I
you.
feel like Myrtle Beach is kind of a regret spot from what I've heard, to be honest with you. But
It might be.
There's certain parts of Myrtle
or
Beach
miss.
that are
yeah,
kind of-
or like what's that spot everybody goes for spring break? Is it Fort Lauderdale?
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tell me with the 3 name.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm back on the 3 here. I'm gonna pick a spot I've been to before. I've showed Gavin and Ryan pictures of where I stayed here. I'm gonna go the Ozarks.
The Ozarks. Classic.
It's a great. I got to stay in a lighthouse Airbnb. It was great, awesome spot. The only complaint was the water was very fishy at the time, but I think that's just seasonal there. So that was the only issue. But it was really great. Had a lot of fun there, and I would definitely, take a vacation trip to the Ozarks, be on the lake. It was a fun spot.
I really want to say Daytona Beach, Florida here, but I'm not. I'm gonna say, because I've already been there. I really want to see New York City once in my life. I just really
New York City.
want to see New York City. Yeah.
You know what? Areas around New York City is pretty good. I don't know if I would ever live there, but I definitely would vacation
I would
there.
definitely
Or
never live there.
take like a weekend trip, not
It
necessarily
is, it
vacation.
is a
Yeah.
very nice weekend trip. I did take a weekend trip there once.
And then Ryan on the 3 to finish off our list.
On the 3 to finish off, I would say San Diego.
San Diego. All right, and then
We got one Cali.
there is our. To be fair, I'm shocked LA didn't come up at all. But I
been.
honestly,
Yeah.
I don't think I would personally want to visit LA
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
vacation spot. I don't know. I have never an interest.
Nobody said Hawaii too. I mean,
Never been to Hawaii.
I think everybody knows like they want to go to Hawaii, but like the price and how far,
My
everybody just gives
parents
up
only
on it
went
typically.
there once, and that was just because of my cousin graduated.
I don't know. I always think Hawaii is overrated for what it is at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I've heard,
Yeah.
you go there as a tourist and you just get shit for being a tourist. So I don't think
Yeah.
I'd want to experience that. At least when I go to
And I don't-
Florida, they know like the people are there for the same reason.
I don't think any of us are like huge fans of beaches either.
No. To be
I mean,
fair,
I'm
I think
fine with beaches.
I've chosen 2 beaches and a lake, so I'm kind of like skimming it out, but
Yeah.
I just chose general hot places in general.
Yeah. All right. And for the final
Oh boy.
ranking, the one we've all been looking forward to, top 3 freak songs.
And
So frisky songs,
oh,
things Ryan will get down to in his Mazda, and just off that type of like topic there.
Totally.
Ryan, do you want first round pick here?
No, I think I'll let you have first round pick here.
Okay, well,
Gavin.
I'm gonna go with my top choice then. Switch Lanes.
yes. Then do you want to give me the artist? I believe it's Mike Posner, right?
Yeah, it's Ritz, Rittz, and then Mike
I'll
Posner.
just put Mike Posner.
Yeah,
You know him. And then
feature.
I guess we could follow in line with me then, if that's fair. And you know what? There's a song that I came upon recently that just struck me as a one of those freak songs. I'm gonna choose "Worth It" by YK Osiris.
Yeah, Osiris, I think.
Osiris, yeah.
He's saying that to Drake for to get out of debt for some of his proof.
I like the pick. I
Good
think it's
guitar solo in that song though.
yeah.
There, Ryan, you're up.
All right. I would have to say Tell Your Girlfriend by Lay Banks.
And Lay Banks. You know what? I don't mind the pick. It's not a bad pick at all. It puts us back onto Gavin here with the 2.
Okay.
It's starting.
I'm gonna
Go ahead.
put "Love Me" by what's up here? Lil Wayne, and there's a lot of people on this track.
I'll just put Lil Wayne. I think that gets you enough there.
Yeah,
And you know what?
it's a great song.
I'm not gonna let this sit on the board for too much longer. I'm gonna take "Sweetener" by Ariana Grande.
Wow, what a good song.
All right.
I didn't spell her name right. I don't care. Ryan, it's back on the board for you at the 2.
I would have to go Freak by Doja Cat.
Okay, I don't mind it.
Straight
It definitely
hammer on the nail.
it's a freak song. And then Gavin on the 3 to finish off your list.
Yeah, let me just I have a lot going through my head here. I have 2 right now. I'm gonna go or nah. We just can't let that one fall.
Yeah, or Nah does deserve to be on the list here. Who's it by again?
I know Ty Dolla Sign's on.
I'll put Ty. And then to finish off my 3, added a 4 there on accident. And you know what? I don't want to let this sit on the list. I think it deserves to be in there. I'm gonna put "Come On and Ride It" by the Quad City DJs, aka The Train, is the song name.
I don't think I'm too familiar with this song. Maybe if I heard it.
You know what? Once you hear it, you just know you're like, that's a song.
Is it "Come On and Ride with Me"? Is it like that song?
No, it's more like "Come On and Ride It," the choo choo. It's like that. It's
Okay.
yes. It's very lovely.
Ryan's the caboose type song. I got
Yes,
it, yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
And
Ryan,
then
right with the 3.
to finish off the list,
To finish off the list on 3, I would have to go. I believe. I'm not really so sure here, but
I'll throw out an artist. The Weeknd. Really just pick one of those songs. Old songs, which you probably don't.
I think The
know.
Weeknd is just known for being like the horniest artist possible. Honestly,
Not sure.
Yeah,
if this
there
that
is
or his
necessarily-
listeners. I don't know which is worse.
Not sure if this
Yeah.
would necessarily go with like Freak, but like In My Head by Jason Derulo.
Interesting
Not really.
choice.
It's a very interesting choice there. Not.
It's a choice. I'm not from. I can't think of the song off my head or in my head right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's up there. And then this is gonna end it for our drafts. This is the final we got for our top 3 songs. So that ends the draft segment of this episode. And there's only one other thing we have left to do here, and it's my personal favorite. I'll give you a little backstory here. We're all in a fantasy football league. We all played. I unfortunately lost, but close in front of me was none other than Ryan. And a fun fact: Ryan's football knowledge isn't the greatest. He's not,
No.
he's not an expert on the field. He's not a big ball knowledge kind of guy.
That's why when you lose to him, it really stings the heart.
It really hurts. It's a heart burner. I'll give him
knowing
credit.
what
He beat me.
players-
He beat me
like
fair and
with,
square.
knowing what players are on what certain teams.
Yeah. For example, he auto drafted Saquon Barkley, which I feel like everyone is actually kicking themselves for not picking up when he was on the board because he had the last pick. Yes,
yeah,
Ryan,
wasn't I last?
Last pick. But to we have a little fun contest for him to prove that he knows more than what we think. So we have a Ryan football quiz in the style of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, except we're not giving him it's not A, B, C, D. It's just questions, and he's getting one phone call lifeline for him to use at any point on speakerphone into the mic.
In the case nobody answers, I think he gets a Google search. So we should do that. Or is that too nice?
I think we give it you could get 3 attempts here at a phone call. If you don't get someone to
And if
answer,
nobody answers, it's shameful.
Yeah.
Gotta go. Okay, I like it.
All right.
Not sure who would be answering here though.
You ready to start? I think Jimmy's up.
Yeah, I think that's a good
I'm
call.
not sure if you'd want to answer though.
That or Gavin could call for you. I would probably.
I kind of gave him the heads up too.
Okay.
With the Jimmy.
All right. So first question, I'll read it off.
Oh boy.
For 1 point, Ryan.
$1.
$1. Can you name one receiver from the Bears? Any receiving option.
Our hometown.
Our hometown team.
Hometown team of the Bears.
Or not. Yeah.
And let's play this honestly. Let's not look it up as I see lights on your screen.
Yes.
Totally not.
Let's play an honest game here, Ryan. If you got to use a
I don't know. I don't.
Ryan.
Are we using a lifeline right off the beginning one?
No, do I have to get every right, or can I just get them wrong and then continue?
I mean, we could continue for entertainment, but just know,
yeah, your money's gone.
Yes.
That we would pay you.
Out of pocket.
DJ Moore.
Yes. I know you looked it
Good
up.
look up.
I'm gonna give you it.
We'll move on.
Let's not look up from the future here.
I will not.
We're an honest game.
Hands will be right here.
Yeah, just sit back in the chair.
You want me to hit the second one?
Hands will be.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Ryan. Just think. Don't get over stressed out and be like, oh, I don't know.
You've got time.
Who's the quarterback for the Commanders?
Oh, that was the one.
Let's just
rookie.
say. Yeah, I've said it once already on this podcast.
Yes.
I don't remember his name. I know that he was the one rookie guy that was. Isn't it his first season on the Chiefs? On the Commanders.
That's what a rookie is.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
He brought them very far in the playoffs.
I just don't remember their name. I really don't. You guys thought that I'd do a lot better than this. I am very piss poor.
Let's. You've got a
The
lifeline.
first question was very simple. This one, I'd say, is fairly simple as well.
It is fairly simple, but I just don't remember his name though.
You have the lifeline.
Have you not seen Rookie Talks? No.
All right. You know what, Ryan?
I say we
is the
just
best
continue with the questions.
Ryan, for the sake of the show, I'm giving you 2 lifelines. You could call twice.
You can use one right now.
1 lifeline for free. Once we get up,
Because I think the next 2 you might have more of a.
I think there's more of a chance with the other 2.
Yeah.
But if I call Jimmy for this stupid question, he's gonna be mad at me.
Ryan,
Just call him.
call Jimmy.
Just call him.
Put the phone to speakerphone.
Yes.
All right.
For the audience, this Jimmy fella, he's a big football guy. He was the head of our fantasy.
Yes. If you just want to put the phone to your microphone too, so people can hear.
Future guest for sure.
Fantasy.
30 seconds. No, I'm kidding.
All right, Jimmy, you're my lifeline.
Hello.
Hello, Jimmy.
How's it going?
All right, it's not going well. I'm already needing to use a lifeline.
All right. The question is.
Do a millionaire.
The question is, Ryan, who is the QB for the Washington Commanders?
The question is, which you're gonna laugh at me for not knowing this, is so I know everything else about him but his name. What's the name of the Commanders QB?
Oh, fuck. The one this year.
Yes.
The one, the present,
Yes.
present day.
Current,
yeah, present Commanders. He's rookie.
Holy shit. Okay. It's not Caleb because Caleb's on the Bears.
Nope.
Shit. Oh my gosh. What is his name? Hold on. Give me one second. Is it timed?
Tell him 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
40 seconds.
20 seconds. Okay. Oh my. It starts with a J. Okay. I think I got it. Jaden. Oh gosh. Jaden Daniels. That's who it is. Jaden Daniels.
Is that correct?
Is
Tommy?
that your answer, Ryan? Jane
That
Daniels?
is that the answer, Jimmy? Is that
I'm asking if that's your answer, Ryan.
I'm gonna go with Jaden Daniels.
all right? That'll be my answer then too.
That's correct. He's at
That is
10
correct.
points. He's at 10 points.
Good job, Ryan.
One of two
Right.
lifelines on the second question.
All right. That is the first lifeline. They're giving me a second one because of how bad I've been doing.
Oh, great. Am I on for the second one as well?
You probably will be because you're probably the only one who's up this time.
I would hang up for right now, though. I don't think you need him for the next
Yeah,
two.
so I'll
Hey.
hang up for now. If I need to, I'll call you back.
Okay, perfect. Love to hear it. Glad we got that one right.
All right. See you soon.
I'm glad it was a tricky question. There's a lot of options
Yes,
there. I'm glad he
got
didn't.
the $10.
I'm glad he didn't
proud.
go to Caleb Williams. That would have been risky. Now for the question: do you want
Yes.
the $10 or do you want to go for 100?
I would take the $10.
And he's going for
Ryan,
100.
go for the 100.
Going for the 100.
All right, the $100 question, Ryan. Name 3 running backs.
Saquon Barkley.
20 seconds. 10 seconds.
No,
McCaffrey.
it's not time.
It's not timed. It's not timed.
Christian
Okay, that's
McCaffrey,
2.
That's 2. Just need one more.
And why am I blanking on running backs?
You got to think. Do they run with the ball or do they throw it?
Okay, you can shut up.
So,
I don't want to call Jimmy on this one.
Ryan, you should not need to call
Ryan.
all-time running backs.
Yes.
You're just
Hey.
naming current season. Any
I'm
running
trying
back.
to.
You've got
It's
Barkley.
whenever-
You've got
whenever-
McCaffrey.
Whenever I'm like on like a time limit, I just blank.
I like that. Ryan, let's just think. Who was on your fantasy team?
I'm trying to remember who was on my fantasy team,
He doesn't even know.
and that's why they're so mad at me. That
And
I,
I've lost
that I
to him.
didn't lose.
And I've lost him.
Yeah. Fuck. Shit.
People are gonna be watching the Minecraft gameplay below this
Yeah.
podcast right now.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
gonna be watching the game play. Shit.
Think of a team, Ryan. Maybe the Lions.
Yeah,
They have 2 really
I
good
like the
running
Lions.
backs.
They've had 2. One of them played for the Bears at some point. Actually,
Yes.
the season before he did.
Fuck. I literally like any name that's coming to my mind is just I'm just blanking on anything.
How about? Do you want to
Do
give?
you
him-
know Chicago Bears running back?
No.
What about Green Bay Packers? There was a popular name. That was
Cooper Cup. Is that a running back or is that a wide receiver?
wide receiver. You still got chances here.
Shit.
There's a popular running back on Green Bay. Let's just say you had a Jets running back on your team. I remember it.
St. Brown, that's a wide receiver, right?
Yes, it's a wide
Like,
receiver.
I'm just
Lines.
thinking of wide receivers for some reason.
Let's just say the Chiefs went through 3 running backs. If you can name any of them, that's or 3 or 2.
He definitely doesn't know Chiefs.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Lions, Ryan. Think of
The Lions
did
might
you
be
watch
your
one
easiest
game of the
option here.
Lions? Like,
Yeah,
Ryan, if I see you
Fuck.
touching the computer,
hands are right here. Fuck. Jimmy's gonna make fun of me for this.
do we give him like a first name? Yes,
I think a first name. Do you want to give him a Lions first name or do you want to give him like a trickier one that he's
I'll
got?
give him a niche one. Josh.
I like it. That's yeah.
So of course Allen's the only one that comes up with it. Obviously not him. It's not Josh Allen.
Let's just say
Green Bay Packers, Ryan.
double J.
JJ.
JJ, Josh, Jacobs.
Basic name.
And he's got
Josh
100.
Jacobs.
And
There
he's
we
got
go.
100
Wow.
on the board.
Wow, we're at
my
100. I
God.
can't believe
That was a
this.
roller coaster. I'm glad we made it. I'm glad I got on the
You were-
ride.
We're at 1,000, Ryan. I'm really scared of this
Dude,
question. I'll be honest with
There's
you,
a
Ryan. We
I-
cut it down
thousand
too. We cut
questions.
the
Well,
number down.
no, there's 2 names he should 100% get. Just think
Okay.
about it. Ryan,
Yeah.
for 1,000, can you name
Yes.
2 tight ends?
Travis Kelsey, and
I knew that one was gonna be on there.
shit, Travis Kelsey and Hawkinson.
What's his first name?
What team does he play for?
He played on the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay, I'll give
Okay,
it to
we'll give it to
TJ Hawkinson. TJ
TJ.
Hawkinson.
Jay Hawkinson. I have his jersey.
Congrats though, you're on 10
Um,
grand. You're on to the 10 grand question.
Okay, you're on 10 grand, Ryan.
10 grand
Well
question.
earned.
Let's just say okay,
This one might be rough.
right, Kevin, I just looked at the $1 million question that's been changed.
You guys should have known that this is how this.
What did he say, Simon?
I looked at the last question. I just noticed it now. What's been changed about it? He's not getting that.
No. Well, it's $1 million.
Yeah.
So Ryan,
Mhm.
we cycle through players in the NFL. We have their
That we do.
primes and their falls.
That we
There's-
Name 3 rookies from this year. Think to question 1 or 2.
Question 10.
Jimmy's. I'm gonna say Jimmy's.
Yeah.
The one that he said. So that
What's
would be
his,
one.
what's his name?
What was his name?
I don't have to repeat that. It was already previously said.
What position does he play?
I believe he plays a QB
Okay.
For which team?
for the Commanders.
What
His
color,
name is.
what color jerseys do they wear?
They wear, I believe, orange and white.
Okay, we'll give you Jaden Daniels.
Yes,
and
we'll
that's
give
the
you
one
Jaden
close.
Good luck.
Other rookies, I could not tell you. I'm gonna straight up tell you right now. I could not tell you.
All right.
Well,
Well,
to me then.
give Jimmy a call.
All right, Jimmy.
I think you're gonna lose on the next one anyway.
Oh, I'm definitely losing on the next.
I think
one.
you're losing on the $1 million one.
You think he's getting the next one?
No.
All right, Jimmy, I'm back.
What is this one here?
This is name 3 rookies. We already have the one from the previous Commanders question.
What's his name?
Okay.
Just been said.
So wait, so you need 2 rookies. You
That
have
we
one
need
each.
to do. Correct.
Okay. Ooh. So, doesn't matter offense, defense. It could be
No,
anything.
any rookie.
Could be anything.
Any position of a rookie.
Any position of a rookie.
And you only got Jane Daniels so far.
That is correct, Jaden Daniels.
Ryan, make sure he knows that's like they just started playing in the NFL.
Just started playing in the NFL. That's what Tommy clarified for me.
No, yeah, I know. How much time do you
How much time do I have?
Just take your time.
Take my time. Take our time.
take your time? Okay. Because I'm trying to think. Because they'll probably want 1 offensive and 1 defensive.
Anything.
They
Any
they
rookie.
just-
didn't say
Rookie, man.
anything. Did I say anything?
Okay, anything?
Yeah.
Just specify like played college before.
For Tommy,
Yeah.
we'll put in, how about Dasheen?
I like that. I like that pick.
Tommy likes that pick.
There's another one that I really would like. I like Cooper DeJean. There's another one specifically.
Goodness, let's see. And then I think for my other pick, it's tough. I could go with the guy that Bears drafted, but I think I'm gonna go
I would have taken the guys the Bears drafted.
Nate Wiggins. I like Nate Wiggins here.
Is that acceptable, Tommy Gavin?
I would have preferred the Bears guy, but
Gavin saying yeah.
He's saying
Just
yeah?
repeat them, Ryan.
Perfect.
Yes.
I'd love to hear that. And then I don't need
I
to
don't-
say, right? You're the third Jane Daniels?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, we're looking good here. Was this your last lifeline?
This was my last lifeline. What dollar amount did we get for this one?
This was 10,000.
10,000. I'm probably gonna lose on the next one.
so
Holy crap. What is there 2 more questions left?
I'm
Yeah.
assuming right the 100,000 and then the 1 million.
Yeah.
Yes.
yes,
Wow. 2 questions, no lifeline.
Yep.
it's gonna be.
I knew this was gonna
Well, best
happen.
of luck. Your $1 million is probably going to be something that even I. I wish you the best of luck here, Ryan.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy.
I'll take the next one just to clarify.
See you later. Bye.
All right, Ryan, you're at 10 grand. Do you want to keep the 10 grand or play for the 100 grand?
I would like to keep the 10 grand, but
And
I
he's
know you
playing
guys
for the
probably want
100
me to go.
grand, so-
For the 100 grand.
Your question: name one NFL coach ever. Any NFL coach, any position, any defense, offense, retired, current.
I don't know their names. I don't
Could
know
be
their
fired,
names.
could be currently going on.
I know what like happens with all of, like with them and like when they get fired and where they move to. I just don't remember their names. I know we got the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator. That's our main head coach. I know the Chiefs. One was supposed to retire last year, but then he continued through this year.
How about
So you have no idea.
what if I give you
I don't know the name.
what if I give you a massive hint? Because I feel like this will seal the deal on this question.
Sure. What's the massive hint?
Patriots.
And what's the name of him?
Yes, he no longer is a coach for the Patriots, but coached them for Tom Brady's era.
I don't know.
I would say one of the most infamous of the 2010s, 20s, yeah, 2000s, 2010s.
I think Ryan has to tap out here. I think we move on just for the fun, but
Yeah.
he lost at
Ryan,
I
to
lost
clarify, Bill Belichick
Bill Belichick.
I would have never guessed that.
on the Tom Brady roast.
I would have never guessed that.
But Ryan, unfortunately, you're going home with nothing. But for the
Sadly,
sake of
sadly.
entertainment, we've got you the $1 million question.
Mhm.
Yep.
I just want to see your answer, shot in the dark answer. When did the
Alright.
Chicago Bears franchise? When was it created?
1955.
We'll give you in 5 years.
Yeah,
1955. Is that way too late?
it's way too late, unfortunately. The actual year it was created was 1920. Yeah.
I was trying to think like, was the NFL made before or after World War II? I didn't know.
You got to think. I mean, it's the no helmet pigskin kind of time, or the rugby cap.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
I didn't know. I didn't know
If I'm not mistaken, I think they were named something else too.
yes,
maybe.
they
But
probably.
it was the Chicago Bears franchise.
I didn't know
sure, yeah.
if it was. I don't know if the NFL
Mhm.
was made before.
But,
or after
you know,
World War II.
We appreciate you sticking along for the ride. Appreciate you coming along on the
Yep.
Millionaire question. It's been quite a podcast, and what we like to do is we're starting at this episode as it's our first.
Yep.
We like to leave it with an ending question, and you know what? Before we let you go here, and before we end it, I'll let Gavin take it away with the question, and hear your answers.
It's a question I think we've been asking for decades now. And I don't think we'll ever get the answer.
No.
Do women poop? I don't think so.
I'm gonna have to agree. I don't believe it happens. I don't know where it goes, but I don't think they poop. Ryan?
I don't think they poop.
It never happens. I have to agree too.
And
You just never see it happen.
And I'm glad we're all in agreement. And you know what? With that, Ryan, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure having you on the
Yes.
podcast.
It has been a pleasure.
It's
It was a great first start.
quite the first episode. Many more to come, many more guests. Hopefully, Ryan, I guarantee you'll be seeing you again on the podcast.
Yep.
Maybe with other people.
Yes, maybe with more
Yeah,
guests.
maybe Ryan and others.
We've got a set list coming up. Make sure if you're watching, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, like it. Comment down some opinions, whatever your takes are. Let me switch over to that. I don't know how
poorly
long that
did
was.
on the quiz.
Yeah, but you know what? Just like all that, subscribe, and you know what? We'll see you
We're going to
next
be
time.
bringing you guys some fire episodes.
Yeah.